Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 91st CAF update. Thank you for being here with me. All the usuals in the chat, as always, before things get started. Nice to always see you guys talking it up before we get things started here. I saw that comment from Mikhail about are we shell-shocked from the heritage listings? I assume that's for the upcoming June signature auction. I have not even bothered to look at it, so I'm going to try to dig that up while I'm talking here and maybe take a look at it. Maybe I'll share some of it with everybody and we'll see what's in there. If that's indeed what you were talking about. Oh, I found it at last. So yes, welcome. Been a busy week here as always. You know, whenever I do a week of 6 shows like I did last week, it really wipes me out. And throwing a birthday party and all the different things I had going on as well. It definitely made for a long week, and I can tell you, I'm looking forward to the next 3 days off after tonight. So, uh, Michael Callahan says I'm loaded on cake right now. Actually, I have not had any cake since Sunday, which is probably for the best. But yes, Coca-Cola right here, everybody. I should become a spokesman. I need to talk to them. Where's my rep? Should go out and get some money from Coke so we can get some extra cash coming in here. Mikhail says there's multiple Killing Jokes in the upcoming auction. So they've got, 111 listings in here already. I'll load that up in a little bit. We can look at it together. Ron Lim says Death in the Family cover too. All right. Yep. So I'm sure it's going to be another crazy auction from them. And then let's see, when does it start? Well, they never really open for bidding around 5/27. So after Comic Art Live. So there you go. I guess that there's a positive there for us, and that we'll actually be able to have Comic Art Live and not have it be disrupted in any way by people thinking about or bidding in early on the Heritage Signature Auction. So that's good. And Scott says, "Ha, it's a McSpidey fest." It sure is. So yes, the week that was, I guess where would we start? Friday night, last week was the last CAF update. So I did the Carl Moline interview on Saturday, which was definitely a mistake on many levels, I think, because probably having a art sale and interview on the holiday weekend, on Easter weekend, was probably not the right thing to do. And when it got scheduled between Jim Mcfarlane and I about a month earlier, I didn't even bother looking at the calendar to see when Easter was. So I had a great chat with Carl, but at the end of the day, the sales weren't very good. I mean, Carl's, I think we have a better idea on his pricing. He hasn't been repped in a very long time, so he wasn't really sure what he should price stuff at. And all of his published stuff, some of it was high, some of it was wishful thinking, probably. But anyways, it's always good to have a bad or an unexpectedly low show, right? I mean, those do happen. But Carl and I had a good chat after the show, and we talked about it. If we're going to do it again, what we would do differently and whatnot. So that worked out pretty well at the end of the day. He wasn't that disappointed, although I think he was more disappointed for me. He's like, I'm the first artist you brought on here, and we didn't knock it out of the park. But really, at the end of the day, I felt bad about it being the holiday, and I didn't even realize it till literally like Thursday or Friday of that week that we had done that. So live and learn. I'll avoid holidays from now on. We didn't do good on St. Patrick's Day either, did we? So holidays and live art sales have not. We don't have a good history with those. But had obviously a really good show on Monday with Nick and Jordan. A complete sellout. All 48 artworks that came in, all sold. So that worked out really well. Everybody was happy by and large, I'd say. I mean, that was I have been getting these emails from a few people that wish we wouldn't be doing all these low end shows. So I did talk with Mike and Anthony after the episode on Wednesday about having a high end show, and so we've set a date. We're going to do one, but we wanted to make sure Anthony was able to properly compete, bring enough high end stuff, because he doesn't typically deal in higher end pieces. So it'll happen in May, and when we go over the schedule, I'll talk more about that. But I like the low end shows just because I like seeing everything sell. It's not, to me, the commission I make from these things is secondary to just having a good show, having a lot of fun, and seeing art sell, right? And so I think Nick approached the show that way. Jordan certainly did, and it was a fantastic show. I mean, again, I think that's only the second time we've had a full sellout. And and the first one was on a $500 and under show. It was a low end show. So yes, love doing them. And as Scott just mentioned, there will be high end art on Monday. That's good. I don't have Scott's list. I don't have David Bixler's list for next Monday's amateur show, but I know without question both those guys and their collections. I have a feeling that there'll be a few doozies in there, and definitely stuff worth looking at if even if you can't afford them. But it'll be a good show. So other than that, what did we have? We had Nicotero on Tuesday. If you missed that one, it was a lot of fun. I'd never had the opportunity to talk to Nick before, but he was really, it was a lot of fun. We had a blast in the green room before the show, after the show. So yeah, I feel very much like a friend of Nick's now. And yeah, he was very awesome to chat with, and of course has a great collection. He and I are very much in line in our love for Frank Whiteley. Frank would have been in my top 5 X-Men artists if I were allowed to have picked him. So so let's see. Nick Barucci's already asking Scott Wingo if he'll take payment plans. So you got to do that early, Nick. But I did get, a couple things came out of the show on Monday. Some of the things that we probably need to do a bit better job when we're doing the sales shows is just talking in advance of payment options, shipping options, those sorts of things, especially when we're dealing with, with the amateur side of things. I think, Anthony and Mike typically are always talking about time payments and screaming Zelle and all their other payment options. But when we bring in, 2 people who either haven't been on before or maybe they have, but you're not familiar with them, it's probably better to talk about payment options in advance. So yeah, I just have to kind of think about how I sketch out the intro to these shows going forward, just to mention those things. I think it's important to lay that out, not just the ground rules on how to claim art, but what's going to happen afterwards. Because one seller might not take PayPal, or they only are going to take PayPal. And I know there's some collectors out there that hate using PayPal, don't want to use it, or they're out of the country and they have issues with using PayPal. So going into the actual claim process, we should outline all of those things, shipping and payment procedures with each person. So we'll work on that. And man, you guys are carrying on all these different conversations in here. I can't even keep track of them all. But so anyway, so yeah. And then last night's show was a lot of fun too. Of course, it was the sketch show, and Mike actually sold the Kirby at the end of the show last night too, after we got in the green room. And I believe he did sell those 2 other pieces that they were negotiating doing time payments on. So that ended up being a really good show. I mean, I think we probably hit 35,000 in sales. So it was definitely a good experience, and we had a great time with that. Let's see. Sorry, I can't read all the chats going on, but here's where we're at with a few things. As Scott's just mentioned, next week, of course, we've got that the amateur show between he and David. I might as well just bring up the schedule. It hasn't altered too much here, but I'll show the sales schedule first. So Scott Wingo, McSpidey fan versus David Bixler, the true Dark Knight. I would say that will be next Monday at 9 p.m. Looking forward to the Marvel versus DC bash. I think that it's going to be fun. No matter what happens, it's going to be fun. I haven't gotten any of their memes yet or material for the intro videos, but whatever we put together is going to be exciting. We're going to have a regular Dueling Dealers show on the 27th as far as pricing levels go, and then on Saturday I do have a show. It's scheduled with Joe Linsner. I know that I haven't gotten the artwork yet from him, but he's telling me I'm going to get it, and so I'm sticking to the 30th as a date for that show. Joe got the stuff to us late before in the last show. No real issues there, but Joe's a busy guy. I mean, and Nick would attest to this. He's always got multiple covers he's working on, so I don't hold it against Joe if he ends up getting us the artwork to the third, our third party that ships everything by the day of or the day before the show. So still plan on that. Following week, of course, is we're going to have Next Comic Arts Harvey Tullibao. I always pronounce his name wrong, but he'll be bringing some Star Wars art because, of course, that's the May the 4th week. And I can tell you that we've got big plans for the May the 4th episode of Dueling Dealers. It's going to be a Star Wars themed show. Of course, when we do the theme shows like that, it'll be a full-on story. We've already got Maureen and Gwen have written up a fantastic outline and pretty much most of the dialogue. I had to go through and do some blocking stuff for Anthony and Sharon, and I got them all their pieces that they need to film for us. And it's going to be a crazy episode. Um, oh yeah, Rick is mentioning the $8,500 on the Kirby piece. Yes, that is the price that it sold for right as the show ended, about a minute after Mike ironed out some stuff there. So yep, sold for $8,500 last night. But yeah, I'll show you some stuff related to the Star Wars show too, just kind of how the insanity that goes into trying to pull these theme shows off, since none of us are really together when we film the whole show. But after that, we'll have a regular show on the 11th, and then on the 18th, that is going to be the $2,000 and up show. So it'll be a higher end show, and as we all know, typically when we do the higher end stuff, things don't sell during the show. That's kind of why we have the staggered levels that we typically do on a Dueling Dealers episode, because we try to hit all price points. But the high end stuff doesn't typically sell, but at least if people know going into it that that's pretty much all they're going to be bringing, maybe some more pieces will sell. You never know. But at the end of the day, I want to keep everybody happy, because I have gotten, like I said, probably 3 emails in the last month where people are just disappointed that we're only doing low end shows. And I try to explain that it's typically when we have an amateur show on a Monday, and I'm doing an extra artist show on a Saturday, and then you lump in a Comic Link auction or a Heritage auction going on. It just, the lower end shows are better for all of us, right? I mean, at the end of the day. But I'm going to do this one, and if it doesn't resonate with anyone, then we won't do another high end show after that, and that's no big problem to me. Yes, Dennis Cohen. Yes, Dennis Cohen is coming back. A little bit out, but I had the date already. I got that from Jim the other day. So we are planning on having him back on July 30th. And before that, Howard Chaykin will be doing a art sale show on the 11th of June. So yes, so there's a lot of opportunities there. And just like everybody mentions, the Star Wars show is going to be fun. Like literally, what was it, last night? Yeah, last night I was blocking out everything that Anthony and Sharon have to film just to make this thing happen, because they've got to film in front of a green screen, follow the lines, and literally do everything as I say it. Be full body, be from the waist up. It's going to be literally they got to follow it to the letter. So they said they're going to work on their filming over the weekend, and I'm doing my stuff with Mike tomorrow, and then probably beginning on Monday or Tuesday of next week, we're going to spend a whole week trying to pull the whole Star Wars episode together. Bill Ewok. No, there are no Ewoks that are going to be in this show. My character is well, should I even say it? I guess I'll leave it a secret. I'm growing a beard, though, if that helps. I'm trying. It's not going to be much of a beard by tomorrow. Darth Snyder. No, actually, Mike will be playing our version of Darth Vader. So yes, I'm not going to give away any of the names, because of course we've modified all the names, and that would give too much of everything away. There is no Jar Jar either, Matt. Bill Sidious. Yeah, you guys see, I should have asked you guys in advance. Chew Berkey. I like that one, Chris. That one might stick. Maybe we were going to do something else with Chewbacca, but maybe Chew Berkey might be better. I kind of like that. And yes, it has been mentioned already what I'm playing. But yes, director me, it's tough trying to lay all this stuff out. But even Maureen and Gwen are going to go over there with me to Berkey's house tomorrow, just because we want to make sure we don't forget anything, and we get everything pretty much as we need it, because even a week's time to edit all this stuff probably isn't enough. So you guys are going to get what you get when the show happens on the 4th, but it will be good. It will be as spectacular as we can make it. This clone trooper helmet is over 40 years old. Oh, that's very, very good, Derek. So what else I got for you? I could show you and remind everybody the upcoming interview schedule as well. It hasn't really changed at all, and I hate to say that, but I'll talk about that once I'm done here. But we got Josh Raybuck on next Tuesday, Joe and Nadia on the following Tuesday after that. The following Monday after that, I'm going to be in Florida, so I was going to take some days off. Larry Tunn has offered to do some interview stuff for me. So on Monday, the 9th of May, Larry's going to interview 2 people whom I've had on the show already, and he's going to kind of do a follow-up interview, how things have changed. Mickey Anamantadu, of course, was the first person I interviewed. Literally, I did that when did I even do that? Like more than 2.5 years ago. It wasn't even a live show. I did that where I recorded it offline with Mickey and edited it and then posted it to the channel. So if you go back to look for the first video that was ever done, it was an interview with Mickey. So he's going to have Mickey on in a live capacity, and as well as Melvin. Melvin, I think I interviewed maybe 16 months ago or so. So he's going to do two people on that night as far as interviews go. I'll have Frank Lanza on Tuesday. Then the following week, we have a Lake Como stream with Tatiana, if all goes well, on that Saturday. Probably about an hour's worth of time. She's going to give me a tour of the place. I'll probably get to say hi to several people there that I've not met before. I hope to see Annabelle Kirby. I know she's going to be there from Kirby's Comic Art. Love to at least get to say hi to her, and then all the other guests that are going to be there. Then the following week, I've got Larry hosting a Comic Art Live preview show on Monday, where he's going to have on several of the collectors that will have booths at the show the following weekend. They're going to be teasing a few of the items that they're bringing, and promising not to pre-sell any of them. But I'm sure it's going to go over really well. And just having a little bit of advance notice of what's going to be happening at the show, what people are going to be bringing, I think will be fun. And it may encourage a few more people to go premium so they can get their two-hour early access. You never know. But I'm always open to trying new things with Comic Art Live, and I think doing a preview is good. On the 20th, I don't have it listed here, but on 5/20, the night before Comic Art Live starts, we will have that sketch event with that we're going to be doing, where I'll have several of the artists who are doing sketches that we're pre-selling. They'll be in a live stream doing your sketches. So if anybody picks up one, they could watch the show that night. And I'll be interviewing and everyone and chatting with them. There'll be several people from Jiggy's crew there. I'm not quite sure whom else I'm going to have, although I did talk with Ken Carson from 4C, and I know that I'm going to Aranga. I don't know if Aranga will be there sketching, but Aranga is going to be one of the artists that are doing pieces for that special sketch sale. And also, he told me that Bill Morrison will be as well. So yeah, I think we're going to be able to sell about 50 advanced sketches for that. And I can't promise who all will be there in the live event on that Friday evening, but I would expect at least 6 to 8 artists. We'll do it for a couple hours, and just a fun, relaxing environment to kind of chill out before the chaos of Saturday morning when the con starts. So, and I can speak a little bit about the panel schedule stuff going on as well. But as I finish out the schedule here, Jason Sean Alexander, the artist, will be on with me Monday, 5/23. Stephen DeVich from Chicago, old friend of mine, collector, will be on the show on the 24th. Jim Food on the 31st. And Chuck Costas with a prop store auction preview. And what is that, on the 6th of June? So there you have it. Haven't changed a lot. And the thing is, just so everybody knows, I've been laying off lining up anything after the end of May, and for no reason other than I've just been really overwhelmed. I was lucky to kind of get my schedule all lined up for 2 months in advance by the end of March, where I got April and May together. But just with where things are going to be at, with me moving back and forth, I know I'm going to be probably doing the same schedule. I was just kind of holding off, but I literally have 10 people that I have that have said they want to be on interviews with me, to that I have to get back with. So if you're one of those people who've emailed me and we've kind of agreed on stuff, please bear with me. I will set up the schedules. Probably just give me another week. After the weekend, I think I'll have time to set up those chats. I've got Dave Mandel has agreed to be on. Several other high-profile collectors. Couple European guys have asked to be on, so those will be Saturday shows. James has given me 2 guys that are willing to go, and I haven't even had a chance to email them yet. So I appreciate the fact that so many people have been helping, bring these guests to me. So hopefully, maybe by next Thursday, I'll be able to spell out, have a little bit more of my June planned out. But yes, Dave Mandel will be in the house. I mean, I have to throw him some dates, but he was very, very open to doing the show with me. So yep, can't wait to do that. He and I it's funny, I've known Dave for a long time, but we've never actually sat down and shot the stuff together. So it'll be fun to actually talk with him about the hobby and his collection and drool over it like we all do. But yeah, so I can't wait to have him on the show. He's going to be he's going to be fun and a treat for everybody because obviously he's got an amazing art collection that probably not even a third of it is even on CAF. I bet you even less than that. And yeah, Art says $1 million Mandel. It's true. Yeah, they don't get much bigger in the hobby than Dave. I mean, there's a few others, of course, but yeah. So as far as the panels go, I'm planning on panels are going to get tougher the more with the Comic Art Live stuff as we go forward, just because I'm up against cons now. If you figure that the Como show is the week before Comic Art Live, during Comic Art Live I'm going up against Megacon, so I'm not sure how much focus I'm gonna be on trying to have like 6 to 8 panels a day like we did in the first 4 shows. This show I'm just hoping to get 5 panels per day. One on Saturday I'm thinking starting at 2 and running them till 7, and then on Sunday we always start at noon and running those till 5. So if I can fill out the 10, that'll be great, and if I get a couple extras, that'll be gravy. But from now on, I'm going to just try to settle on five panels per day and let go. Felix is asked to be on he's going to start the first panel. So on Saturday at 2 p.m. He hasn't told me the guest yet, but he wanted to kick things off. So I'm definitely going to have Felix and one of his artists on the show at 2 p.m. I've got Adam Hughes and Allison Sohn. They're going to be on Saturday as well at 5 p.m. with me as an interview. I know Adam has had to cancel a couple of his recent events, so I reached out to them just suggesting, hey, if I know you're canceling on some other events, your fans are probably a little disappointed. What do you think? Can you be on the show with me? And they were like, absolutely. So I think Allison is not going to be with Adam when we do the thing, but so there'll be the 3 of us on camera as part of that panel. Stegman, Trad. Well, we've had Stegman and Trad on, right? But so I don't know who they're planning on, who Felix is planning on doing. You never know, but he always likes to make a big splash, right? So one way or another, and he, he picked the 2 p.m. slot, but he did tell me today that he's hoping to have a couple other guests lined up as well. So, we had Sook on once. Have we had Otley? I don't recall, but one way or another, I'm sure probably within the next week or two, I'll at least know who's Felix's 2 p.m. guest is, and I'll have the schedule fleshed out a little bit more. So I did send out a few emails today as well. I think everybody probably got them that's on the mailing list knows that you can start setting up your booth for Comic Art Live. It's a little bit early, but I wanted to do that because some of the people that I know that are actually going to Lake Como, that they asked me to open up the booth setup early because they're already they're planning on going to that show, so they're going to be tied up the week before Como and probably the week after Como, so they're not going to have any time to set up their Comic Art Live booth because of that. So that was another reason for moving up the booth setup to now. So hopefully people are going to be as excited about it as I have always been, and I think we're going to have a good show as always. I mean, I'm always apprehensive, thinking, is this the show where the real cons beat us out? But I'd like to think it won't happen. So we'll see how things go. Reading through the chat. Another person. Yeah. Yep. Instant can. Gosh. Yeah. Mcfarlane. Well, hey, I'll tell you the one thing, because I did shoot for the moon. As everybody knows, IDW is doing a Mcfarlane book, right? And Scott Beer, of course. And Scott's been a regular panel host for 1 panel per show. I don't think he did the first Comic Art Live in May 2020, but he's done the last 3, right? He brought Simonson's, J. Scott Campbell, and I can't remember who the other one was that he got. I can picture him, but I can't think of who he was. But either way, I emailed Scott about 2 weeks ago, and I said, if you don't mind my asking, I know that you're doing the Mcfarlane book, and it would be pretty cool. It would be pretty cool if you could get Todd to come on, even if it was only a half hour. So Scott really kind of skirted the question, but I hope that he's going to give it a try at any rate. So that would be pretty incredible to get Todd on for any length of time. So it's been asked. I asked. I've actually never asked anything of Scott before. He's always volunteered and brought those people. So we'll see. I hope he's trying for me. I should probably remind him of that tomorrow just to see what he'd be willing to do. No, I know, Ruben. It's always just scheduling and time, right? But you know, I'm hopeful on this one. Yeah, once he's on, we'll trap him. Thanks, Michaela. We can do that too. But so I'm trying. I want to try every show. I want to make better than the last one. I want to make sure that we all have a great time. And Chris Thor says, "Hey, you're Bill Cox." Yeah, well, I don't think that has any clout. But Scott being Scott and his time in the hobby, and heck, I mean, again, he's doing a Mcfarlane book, for crying out loud. We should be able to get Todd on the show for that. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. But I will remain optimistic until Scott tells me it's not going to happen. But all right, man, I've lost my list and everything in front of me here. But let's see, what am I forgetting on the schedule? So just so I'm going into today, I was like, I don't have anything to talk about, as always, but that's never true. And missing from that schedule, I should showing this one last time on the sales schedule, I did forget, because I talked with Kat Taka the other day, and she wants to do another show. And I was talking with Sharon last night, and Sharon's up for doing another show with Kat. So we do have another amateur show between Kat and Sharon that will happen in May. Right now, we've penciled it in for Saturday, May 14th. And I should have put that on the schedule. I apologize to Kat and Sharon for that. But it'll be a Tuesday or a Saturday show at 2 p.m. So so we'll have both of them on again. And that was a lot of fun the first time. Who knows what Anthony might dress up as next? I don't even want to guess. But we should see at least another cake baked by Anthony. I'm sure it won't be editable at all. But so that's on the 14th, and I can't really say with whom, but I was emailing with a rep about potentially doing some regular shows with them. And it's Jiggy, I'm already doing regular shows with, and with his artists, interviews and sales shows. And I was emailing with another rep yesterday, and they were suggesting, they were like, hey, we don't like being in front of the camera, but you seem to like doing this. Would you like to do this and do it on a regular basis? And it's it's a rep of note. So I think that would be pretty cool. It's not Felix. So don't even think that. But it would be fun. I mean, I'd like to do it. And obviously, I'm looking for good content. And if it brings in a little extra revenue for the channel and for the site, that's one step closer to hopefully getting to the point where we can do some of the site work that we need to do on CAF to get things where I want them to be. There's so if I get anything committed, I'm making up my own language tonight. If I can get anything committed by next Thursday, I'll let you know who it is and who my first guest might be. But I hope to know probably by Monday if we're going to work this out. So let me. So a couple things. Like when we talk about, I do have packages to open, but I've got a couple things just since we're talking schedule-wise stuff. Of course, everybody knows about Comic Art Con. Well, just 2 days away, right? On Saturday. I'm sure. Well, I know Anthony's going to be there. I bet all the usuals: Bashara, Albert, Will is always there. Hans. Who am I forgetting? I don't know if Glenn's going to be there. I haven't seen it announced in any of his emails if he's going, but yeah. So anybody who's in the New Jersey area should hit up that show. I'm sorry that I'm not going. I haven't been to one of those in, I bet, 9 years. So I'm certainly overdue, but it's just not in the cards right now. But anybody who's on the East Coast should hit that show up. And if you do, take some pictures, shoot some video. That would be, and send it to me so we can show off some stuff from the show by, on the next week's CAF update. I would appreciate that. And sorry, I'm getting pinged here. I've got to silence that. But yeah, so there's that. And then of course, Como coming up, Megacon. I can tell you that I did email with Kevin Boyd from Fan Expo with the outline for my panel on the 20th. And he said, sounds great, let's do it. And he agreed that he would get me in as early as possible on Friday. So I will be doing a panel at Megacon the day before Comic Art Live, the show. So anybody who's going to Megacon, if you want to pop into the panel, I don't have a time yet, but as soon as I do, I will let everybody know. And I will definitely be joined by Ken Carson, who is exhibiting at the show, and Berkey might actually be down in Florida at that point. So the three of us might do a show together. But it'll definitely be myself and Ken, and maybe Mike as well. And I won't spoil the topic or anything right now, but we certainly are probably going to record it. So anything that we do there, I will post after the fact, so that everybody can enjoy the moment of me actually being in front of people and talking, rather than talking to you through this microphone. So let's see, what did Mikhail say? San Diego Comic Fest starts tomorrow. That is true. That is true. Let's see what else we got here. Murdoch says he's taking an 8-hour road trip from the DC area, trying to figure out where I want to spend the night on Saturday. Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of collectors, right? I mean, you guys, please take pictures. I mean, Jason, I know you're going, and they really have a nice setup there at the hall, and so please, everybody should be taking some photos and sending me good stuff to use for next week's show, so we can recap that con. Then of course, Comic Art Live being May 21st and 22nd. That's you can set up your booth now. Let's get going. It makes me feel better to see people poking around at it and uploading art, and at least creating their booth records. So I know there's still interest. And I've been asked by a couple other people about the Heroes show. So we still don't have the venue for the Thursday night ironed out yet, but we hope to know by the middle of May, if not sooner. And George Hodge is focused on that. And again, as soon as I know something, I will let you know. But it's going to be a Thursday evening get together for all CAF members, all Comic Art Live fans, and it'll be at either it's going to be at some kind of a brew pub or music venue. I don't quite know where it's going to be, but there will be a cover charge to help compensate for the cost of setting up and doing everything. But that's the night before Heroes starts. So that we're doing it the night before, just because, as everybody knows, Heroes always has their drink and draw on Friday night, and then the comic art auction on Saturday night. So it's going to be 24/7 comic art stuff going on, and it's going to be a great time. I've really got to call Sheldon and just talk to him about some of the stuff that they brought to my attention, and things that they were thinking of doing a couple weeks ago. I just haven't had the opportunity. So I have an hour drive somewhere tomorrow, so maybe I'll try to reach out to him then, because I'd like to be able to give you guys some more details on some of the stuff that Sheldon was thinking of doing, because he knows now that there's this large contingent of art collectors coming in and being a big part of his show this year. So as soon as I can talk to him about that, I'll let you know. Tim Guerrero saying, yeah, a music van. Well, don't worry, it won't be like we're going into anything crazy, no headbanger stuff. But we're looking for a place that it's open to the public, so it won't just be comic art collectors, but it'll be a venue where slam dance with portfolios, says Marcus. No, we're not going to be damaging any artwork during this whole thing. But yes, but Tim, just so everybody knows, Tim might come now. Tim texted me earlier saying he may try to make it out to the show as well. So I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good time. Anybody that's there, I guarantee you, we're going to have a great time. If you can't make it on Thursday, it's okay. I've emailed with a few people who said they literally just can't get in there on Thursday night. They're only going to be there Friday, Saturday, and of course, we all know that there is so much going on that we are going to have a great time, whether or not you're there on Thursday or not. So clothing isn't optional. So you must be properly dressed, Mikhail. So pasties required. Who knows? I mean, I know Anthony is going to be at the show, so more than likely he will come to that party on Thursday night. I'm just warning everybody. I haven't said, hey, Anthony, come out and hang out, but he'll be there. But I'll make sure that he keeps his shirt on and doesn't cause anybody any undue stress. So let's see. Why don't I go ahead? The thing is, what do I got here? I've got 5 packages. One of them I bought, so I might as well maybe start with that. That's actually it's actually from Anthony. He I buy stuff from him, of course, and I get some stuff from trade from him when for the dueling dealer stuff. So I was going through his site the other day trying to figure out, all right, what pieces do I want? And he and I came to an agreement on some stuff. So I'm sure that is what we have in here. No Cosmic Odyssey, I hate to tell you. Although, if the right piece came along, I would probably take one, just because of all the fun memories Cosmic Odyssey has had for all of us during the Dueling Dealers episodes. But yeah, not quite there yet. So let's see here. What do we got? Yep. So this is the stuff that I asked Anthony for, and let's see. Now this one of these things he picked up at Philly. This was let's see, how was this one? The Kevin McGuire Loki piece. There you go. Nice in color. That was it in Philly. He was there, and he took a few pictures of some of the art that Kevin had, and I was like, "Hey, sure, I'd like that. Why not? It's a color piece. I don't have anything by Kevin, and that's pretty nice. I like it. That's a good one. What else we got here? I used to have a Phil Jimenez new X-Men cover that I sold a few years back, so I've always lamented that. So I saw this on Anthony's site, and I just figured, all right, this at least puts something back in my portfolio by Phil. So a Cyclops sketch and a new X-Men style costume. So hey, it's not a cover. It's certainly not the cover that I used to own. The cover I had was the one, I think it was from like maybe issue 141. It had all the heads on it and the X logo. So it had about 20 characters on it. So yeah, I don't know what, and I didn't even have to sell that one. It wasn't even marked for sale. Somebody contacted me and wanted it, and I just sold it. So that wasn't even a mini golf loss. Let's see what else we got here. I've always looked at this page on Anthony's site, and I don't know why. I always really liked those the Kazar issues that Brent Anderson worked on. And this page is completely nothing special, but I think Chris Snork would look at it, and he would tell me all the great things about the panel layout, because it is cool. And I have no idea what's not here, but I just, Brent Anderson is just, I've just always loved his work. And so clearly you can't get more talking heads than this, right? But I just loved it. I've been looking at it. It's like, remember I've talked about this many times. You go to a guy's site, a dealer's site, and you look at their artwork, and you start feeling like that art's yours, even though you like it, you think you should ask for it, and then or buy it, and then you never do. I think I've been looking at this on Anthony's site for a year now, and I just felt like, it's still there a whole year later. I got to get it. So I decided to pick it up finally. So what is that? Cyclops, Will's favorite X-Men. Yeah, that's probably true. Rich Earl says, I love the early Anderson Anderson issues of Kazar. Exactly, right? I mean, it's just beautiful. So yeah, but again, this is one of the rare times when I've looked at a piece of art on a dealer's site for more than 6 months, and it was still there. So when it came time to pick some stuff up from Anthony, I added that to the pile, as they all like to say. Let's see now. Actually, my daughter Gwen wanted this piece. She was browsing his site, one of the Dueling Dealer episodes, and it's by Gary Shipman. And Gwen was actually named after Gwen, so she saw this piece and really liked it, and it's in color. So I said, sure, I will make sure we get that. So Gwen's got a piece of art to add to her growing portfolio. Let's see. Oh, and that's right. One other. So one other. Yeah, it was one other. It was just a Mark Buckingham sketch. I know that anybody who was going to Lake Como, Joseph Melchior was opening a commission list, sketch list for Lake Como for Mark, and I knew that I was not going. So, and I thought about trying to see if I couldn't get somebody else to get something for me, but I saw this on Anthony's site and just said, well, that's cool. I've never owned anything by Mark Buckingham, and so I said, I'll take it. So there you go. Oh, Gwen's watching. Hey, Chris Nork says, my dad never bought me art. Well, what are you going to do? So yes, I'm very, very happy. 5 pieces of art newly added to my collection. So, and all from Anthony. So thank you very much, Anthony. And as Scott just said, congrats to Gwen. Did I get a free portfolio? I didn't. Isn't that weird? Huh. Wow, I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. That's peculiar. But you know what? I literally have. Every time I've gotten a piece of art from him in the last year, he sent me a free portfolio. So I've got at least 10 of them, and 3 of them have no art in them. So let's see. Gwen is already planning a dive at Perky's. She's going to be there tomorrow. So yeah, she may end up doing that. So next up is something from Nick, and I believe it's probably what he showed off on Monday. Nick Barucci. So let me work my way into this package here without damaging anything. But yeah, Nick, that Monday show is lots of fun, man. I tell you, if you ever want to do something like that again, I think you'd make a good godfather. I thought the horse head in the bed comment was really good. We could do something fun with another theme, and Jordan would be up for another one of those. So I got a lot of positive emails afterwards because people were like, we've never seen people bring artwork, at a price point that just anybody could afford. And so Nick did that. He wanted to make sure everybody walked away happy from that show, and everybody did. Everybody did. I got a lot of good feedback. And there you go. Yep. The gift for Bill Cox. Let me get that Post-it note off there. There we go. Signed by Mr. Simonson. Thank you very much, Nick. And Simonson's classic, of course, signature. Unmistakable. So, yep, that's awesome. Thank you, Nick. That really is great. I love it. I love it. I love Thor. And Walt Simonson. All right, what do we got next? I can't open this one because I know what's in it, but I don't know what's in it. This is from my sometimes partner in crime on the show, Chris Snork. Oh, I showed his mailing address. Chris, you're going to get fan mail now. Sorry about that. But hey, you never know. I mean, maybe it's good. Maybe it'll be good fan mail that you get, Chris. But let's see. I think this is a birthday gift for me. It's very heavy. And let's see. I actually wanted to do this without cutting it in half like that. All right, what do we got in here? I've got something labeled. It's labeled BTO. It's a Bach Beer from the Eagle Park Brewing Company. Very psychedelic graphics on that. I like that. And is that let's see. So this is a sampler. We've got one called the Half Acre Big Hugs Imperial Coffee Stout. Look at that. That's a great graphic on there. Like that one. Man. And Tiger Mountain Hell's Lager. All right. From looks like a company called Maplewood. Man, I'm giving out plugs tonight too, right? This is great. PR for all these people. Oh, this one's called Goon Juice. Wonder what's in that. Let's see. This is a Hazy India Pale Ale. Well, I love IPAs, so that one's going to be great. IPAs always have a high alcohol content. This one's got 8%. Wow, that's going to be a good one. And is this the last one we got in here? Cupid's Envy. This is a barrel-aged espresso porter from the Wisconsin Brewing Company. So I believe all. Oh wait. Oh, there's one more in there. So this is a 6-pack. This one's called Pretty Fly for a Maple Rye. It's an Imperial Rye Stout. And it's from Central Waters Brewing Company. All right. Hey, Chris, thank you so much. Maybe what we should do is we should set up just we should have a drink after one of the shows that we have coming up. And we can do it after the show. Of course, it's got to be after the show. But thank you so much for these. As everybody knows, I'm not much of a. I love beer. Let's just put that way. Beer is my drink of choice when I'm out. So, but I could be persuaded to drink other things too. But thank you so much, Chris. That was fantastic. Now I do have 2 more packages. One of them I can't open until my guest is on later, because Khalil is going to be joining me today. He's doing the guest picks tonight, and Khalil sent me a package. So I'm going to wait to open that one until he's here. This one came in from Mikhail ML, for those of you in the chat. Look, it is handle with care, fragile. It's got a little, hopefully that little ding isn't enough to cause any harm. We got some Tradmore art on the side included. and an extra address on there just in case something were to go wrong with that package it was in, the envelope. So there's no cut here. I'm gonna have to just go in and dive in on this one and see the best way to get into this thing. So unless Mikhail, you want to give me some direction while I'm doing this. Let's see. There we go. And this is there's a lot of tape here. But just so everybody knows, I did have a very good birthday party. It was great to get to hang out with my mom and my aunt, who I don't get to see often enough, on Sunday. And then just, everybody this entire week and even last week, just all the birthday wishes I got from everybody direct here through email. It's just been a really, really, really fun week for me. And I turned 54, not 55, as was misreported out there. What on earth have we got in here? Well, it may be original instant oatmeal. It could be. It's in an original instant oatmeal box. That doesn't sound like oatmeal. And it's been opened already. All right, what do we got in here? All right, I've got a letter. We always do the letters first. Let's see. It's like a conspiracy or something here, everybody. That's a nice beer and a beer stein. Oh man, that is awesome. Look at that. Wait, does it actually? Let me see. Okay, there's a card that comes out. But look at this as I open it. It's like I'm a server. Get the whole pitcher of beer, and it says barley brew on it. So let's see. It says, Bill, wishing you a very happy birthday and all the best for the year to come. So, and he says, I've become a very good friend and am I, I feel that way sometimes. I'm a shining beacon for the hobby and the community. And I appreciate, I really appreciate that, guys. Cause, let me finish off. Sorry, the real gift's been delayed, but hope these bring you some laughs. Best, Mikhail. I had an interview, I told you guys I was being interviewed by a local guy just talking about my time owning the golf course. And he was actually more interested in what we do here, the things that I've been doing on CAF and the live streams, because he's doing more podcasts and stuff, so he was very interested in that. But it was really great getting to talk to him and just kind of self-evaluate some of the things that I've done over the years, and it was really, really good to kind of walk through really my time from high school to through college to doing the things that I've done. It made it really crystal clear. He was like, you see this, you connect the dots. This is why you're here today. And so it was neat. It was very neat getting to think about that. But it made me think about what my responsibility is to the hobby and why I'm doing these things. And I feel like can't even remember how the conversation went today. But at the end of the day, this is doing these things on the show here is just super, super fun. And I do them because I know that we all love the time we get to spend together. And, and I enjoy being a part of it. And whether it's a beacon or not, I don't know. But let's see, I've got some adhesive bandages. I didn't cut myself this time though, but rainbow adhesive bandages for me. They do come in handy. We've seen me cut myself on this show a few times. Let's see, what else do we have here? I've got some stickers, it looks like, or yeah, they are stickers. Oh, I've got them upside down. Shoot. Oh, Thanos on that one. Silver Surfer Galactus. Yeah, that looks like a familiar image. Yeah, Mikhail making art out of these things. Look at that. I think I recognize that art, Mikhail. And of course, that one right there. I know we've all seen that, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with that image as well. That's cool, Mikhail. See, you do fun things with your collection as well. And look at that, even more fun. A magnet, and again, all work that Mikhail has. That's great. And oh, wait a minute, hopefully I did open them in the wrong order. Let's see what there is. One other thing here. Oh, this one's really going to be difficult to get into. This is the one I might cut myself on. Yep, see, I almost did right there. But the Band-Aids are here. We don't have to worry about bleeding on anything tonight. What do we got? Man, you wrapped this one really good, Mikhail. Oh boy. This is these are very nice. These are so I don't cut myself. But with printed on them. Look at this. I sent this picture to Mikhail just as a joke. I don't even know. This was early on in the Dueling Dealers days, but so he sent me 2 of these, so I can now open packages without slicing my fingers off. But I sent this very tame photograph to Mikhail. Just like I was so excited to have this Thor costume, I thought he would enjoy seeing it. And this Thor costume has made the rounds. It has made many rounds, and Mikhail we will never forget the day I sent him that image. So thank you very much, Mikhail. I sincerely appreciate it, and appreciate the kind words, of course, as well. I mean, it means a whole lot to me. But yeah, you guys are awesome. All of you are awesome, and yeah, what can I say, Mikhail? These are great. And I'm gonna keep the Band-Aids handy though, because you just never know when you're gonna need one. Yes. No, fantastic. So what other things I got going on? I've been asked that several people did pick up the trading cards that we did for Dueling Dealers, and I did finally get the whole package in the mail. And so I've got the trading cards in hand, and I've actually sent the package over to Anthony because Anthony's got to sign some. But I can tease a few that we did that most people haven't seen before. So, and it's funny, all these ones I'm going to show you, I never realized how often I put myself on both sides of a meme, right? Where it's me talking to me or me interacting with me. But I got me as long-haired Billigan and Robin in that one. I did that as an intro for episode 46, Thor fighting Loki to get the thing started. So I thought that was a good one. I always like this one with Thor and Billigan trying to lift Thor's hammer. So I got that there. And this is an older one when I got to be the Hulk, and I did an episode like that. We did that Hulk's Bad Day. So this was the final scene from Hulk's Bad Day, where he just tosses Thor across the desert. So there you go, 4 of those cards. But there are 76 other ones. I think I mailed Anthony about 30 of them today for him and Sharon to sign and get back to me. So for those of you who ordered them, the update being is that as soon as I get the set back from Anthony signed, he's going to have the sketch cards that he and Sharon are working on. As soon as I get that back, I should have everything here. I'm still waiting on the custom boxes we printed. I believe the last notification I got on that was that we were going to have those within the week. So once I have that, and we did a sticker for this as well, and I'll get those in the mail. So I'm hopeful that probably by the end of the week after next, I'd say they should be in the mail and out to everybody. So yeah, got to catch them all, just like Rich Cirillo said. But we will have. I didn't print up a ton. It was actually, we're not making any money on this. I still printed about 4,000 cards total, but the way it's going to work out is I think I'll have probably about an extra 10 complete sets to sell, because I did have people say they didn't want to do the Kickstarter, they were going to buy them afterwards. So once I've got the complete sets done and shipped out to the backers, I'll let people know how many extra sets we have of the deck, and anybody that wants to pick them up, I'll work out something so that you can get your own set of trading cards if you want. But 80 cards in this set, so really lots of fun. And I made sure, the one thing I screwed up when I did the first 25, as that we only gave those out to a few people. Obviously, we didn't print many of them. But I forgot to do a card for Sharon. Of all the people I could forget, I forgot to make a card for Sharon. So I made sure to do 2 cards for Sharon in this deck, and I even made 2 cake cards for her too. 2 of my favorite cakes that she's done, and I won't say which ones those are, but I made trading cards for those as well. So I'm really, she's seen them, so she's thrilled. And Kat Taka got a card because she was one of the amateurs in this one, and Jordan got on Jordan and Dino got on another one, and Jordan and his daughter got on one. If everybody remembers from the Indiana Jones episode with Anthony melting everybody's eyes. I felt that was a great memorable moment. So I gave Jordan and his daughter their own card as well. No hologram cards yet, Rich. Sorry. Yeah, Larry says share another rare chase cards. Well, they were rare that first time because I didn't make her one, but I have fixed that, and it's not gonna. Yeah, I'm never gonna forget that again. But hologram Sharon cake card. That's a really good idea, Dino. I think maybe on the next set that we do, we'll just Marcus's card is just CAF post. That's a good one, Ron. I know I'm forgetting something here, but so yeah, I have one other package from my guests in a few minutes. So, well, probably more than a few minutes, but it'll happen soon. I'll have Khalil on for the next bit. And see, we're already at 55 minutes. How do we do this? So, so a couple things. Just remember, I want to show this off again. There should be some dramatic music playing when I show this slide. But Monday night, 9 p.m. Bixler versus McSpidey, DC versus Marvel, the ultimate throwdown between two publishers. You know who I'm rooting for, only because I'm a super Marvel fan. But I'm sure David is gonna bring out. We know, hey, if there's anything on DC that sells well, it's Batman. So whatever David's bringing, he's got some secret weapons in there. I'm sure, and it's going to be a great show. So I'm looking forward to that. So make sure that you have that on your schedule. Set your reminders now. You can go over to YouTube and set that thing where it'll actually ping you about 20 minutes before the show starts. So for those of you who don't subscribe to the channel or set it up to get notifications, if you just do that, you'll actually get pinged every time one of our shows is going to start. And I did have this idea. Marcus sent me the he sent me the signed comics and whatnot last week as well for my birthday. And again, thank you, Marcus, for that. But he sent me this Make Mine Moy set of stickers. I mean, they're all the same, but it's nice. There's a whole bunch of them. But it made me think, you know what? And I'd have to get Albert's permission to do this, but because I want to buy one. So here's the thing. I said, you know what? I got to make a special T-shirt for Albert. And but again, you can't buy it just yet. But look at this. Make Mine Moydoc. I mean, is it nothing more precious than that? So I've actually got to call Albert tomorrow. So I was going to send him this by email before we sit down to talk. But I was going to say, do you mind? I'll only put it up for sale for a month. Anybody can buy one. But so we'll see. Hopefully he agrees. A Make Mine Moydoc shirt would be great. Can you imagine the look on his face when people come up to him at San Diego with a Make Mine Moydoc? I mean, he'd probably be pretty pleased, wouldn't he? I think he'd be thrilled. So I knew everybody would like it. That'd be great, right? So we'll see. I wouldn't do it to him if he would say no. But how could he say no? I mean, he can't say no. So I'll let you guys know by next week if he's signed off on it, and I'll put him in the store. So sitting on the Moydoc of the Bay. You got it, Rick. So yeah, Chris says he'll lurk at the boot at C2E2. Marcus wants one for every day of the year. Moyageddon. Absolutely, Hart. So yeah, I know. Come on. I mean, Albert, everybody's like, Albert's always grumpy when he's on. No. Albert loves hanging out on the channel with us. And he likes the attention. I think he likes the attention. So we're gonna work that out. But yeah, I started thinking about the T-shirt shop too, just thinking we should just make some fun stuff, even if you only sell one or two of them. The thing is, it would be so funny to see, Thor on a shirt, or Mike dressed as, I don't even know. You could think it's the Hulk with, who knows? At the end of the day, I think these are funny, and Moy definitely deserves his own T-shirt. Let's see. The type should be in a circle around the photo. Once an art director, always. Well, I'm not done with it yet. I didn't even like the font that I picked, but I had to come up with something. And yeah, free advertising, right? I mean, every dealer should be trying to get a custom shirt on the Comic Art Live T-shirt shop, right? On TeePublic, just to do some fun stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all just trying to have a good time. And if they're not going to do it on their own, we should be the ones helping them do it, right? Just push it out, get them to do it. Chewberkey, as Mikhail says. All right, it's gonna stick. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with Mike tomorrow to get him to be Chewbacca. We didn't plan on that, but I'll work it out somehow. So let's see, what else have we got to talk about here today? My list was kind of short. I think the big stuff being with regards to Comic Art Live, do me a favor, those of you who are planning on setting up a booth, and go in there and set one up, early. Don't wait till, the last minute or anything. I think if you can get in there, so I'm getting lots of weird emails too. If you can get in there early and just create the booth without even adding any artwork, that's kind of good for me. Maureen and I do have a short list of programming things that we're going to be working on while you're adding artwork or creating your booth. So hopefully, we don't break anything while we're doing it, but there are a few programming enhancements that we want to make. I had somebody ask me if we could add in some of the image editing tools that we provide from your CAF gallery. Somebody was uploading their artwork and it was going in sideways because it was off their phone. As we know that that's a problem sometimes with a phone, because your phone doesn't always tell the JPEG which side is the top, or if you hold it flat over the art and you're taking your picture, it doesn't know what side of the art is the top. So in your CAF gallery, you can edit and rotate the images once you've uploaded them, but we've never added that capability into the Comic Art Live booth setup admin. So I haven't even told Maureen this yet, but because it came up today, I think this morning. So we're going to add that in there. And I know that we talked about adding in some other things to make adding artwork to Sunday easier, so that you can just post over and over again into your Sunday booth. Same thing with Saturday. So you don't always have to keep going back to the main screen. You can just keep posting all your artwork in one motion, rather than all the back and forth we make you do. So live and learn, but those things are things that we'll be working on over the next couple days, I hope. So let's see, what do I watch? 82. Yeah, Nick reminding everybody there's 82 people watching and only 53 people have liked the show so far. We know we can get some more. Nick was great on Monday with Jordan. We actually, I think, got more likes on that show while it was live than probably any other show we've ever did. I think even right now, I think it's around 225, but we I don't know where we end up with when the show ends, probably around 205. So that worked out really well. Nick, you're the best guy at driving thumbs up for me. I appreciate that a ton. Let's see. Rich wants me to do embroidered baseball caps with the word "next" on it. Yeah, like the yup. Yeah, like the yup guy from Storage Wars. Yeah, that I'll let Albert make the next ones. I can't do it all for him. He's got to do some of this work himself. But okay, just to go over, nobody can refuse the godfather of likes, says Jordan. Very, very true. So hey, Nick's got some stuff, speaking of Nick, on the EXP channel tomorrow. He's got his regular show at 7, and he's doing I've got 2 promos to play for Nick for his show tomorrow. So let me go ahead. The first one's a short one, but it's the special one, and then I'll do the one that we usually get to see. So here's the first one.
Everybody, this Friday, April 22nd, 7 p.m., only on The Experience, we're going to have this special Batman page by Carlos Paglione, inks by Danny Mickey. It will be our free giveaway. Tune in to enter, no purchase necessary, Friday, 7 p.m., only on The Experience.
So there you go. Nick is always making interesting things going on with his show, whether it's giveaways, great deals, 7 to 8 p.m. on the EXP. And so I've got his more general promo here as well. So let's go ahead and show that one. This one, he'll go over a lot of the artwork that he's going to have for sale tomorrow.
Everybody, I'm doing this late, so I'm going to be quick. This Friday, April 22nd, happens to be my mother's birthday, and she's going to be 75. Shh, don't tell her I said that. But Friday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I know, I'm a bad son. I'll be working. Only on The Experience. We will have Uncanny X-Men by Ron Garney. We will have Sentry by John Romita Jr. Val Semek's JLA. Scar by Ron Garney. Hey, we've never had a Scar, much less a Splash. Avengers vs. X-Men by John Romita Jr. Captain America by Steve Epting. Then we will have Aquaman by Steve Epting. And this goes all the way back to 2000. Wow, 22 years old. Look how quick I'm going. And last but not least, well, actually not really. We have much more. This Carlos Paglione Danny Mickey Batman will be given away to one lucky winner, but you gotta pay attention on Friday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. Plus, we'll have our commission cover art by Ken Hazer, including Deadpool, Aliens, that is awesome, and the Weapon Master. Taskmaster. God, you would think I would know that. All right, Friday, April 22nd, 7 p.m., and we're going to also just celebrate my mom's birthday. She is 75, and I'll try and be a good son and get the heck out of here right after the show to go say happy birthday. See you Friday, 7 p.m., only on The Experience. And hit that thumbs up and share. Sharing is caring. Take care, everybody.
Sharing is caring. We all know that. That's a slogan for a T-shirt too. So hey, I was just taking a look at the Heritage auction stuff, and yeah, there's some pretty impressive pieces in there. Obviously, right at the top of the list, man, the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man 16 cover with X-Force all over it. I'm not going to go click to the details on that, but yeah, I think that one's going to reach an interesting price from 1991. What other good ones are in here? Another Todd McFarlane splash with the Juggernaut. Amazing. What else we got? Todd McFarlane again, another DPS from that same issue 16 with X-Force all over it. Man, there's going to be a lot of people interested in that one. Another Todd McFarlane DPS. What's up with that? Another one with Cable. What else we got here? Another. Well, that's I don't think that's a DPS. That's just a title page. What else we got here? Oh, then the Brian Bollins. All right, the Killing Joke. Wow. Yep. They're going to, well, who knows? Will the record-setting auction results continue? I guess the only thing we can hope for is there aren't 960 lots again. But what do they got? They're going to start the bidding on the 27th. So they got 6 more days to start. I bet you they'll probably they might add consignments for another week or so, because right now they've only got, what did it say, 111 items listed in the original comic art category. So we know that's going to change. Let's see. Yep. The 2 Killing Joke pages. It's all Spider-Man 16. Okay, Scott. Well, yeah. Nick says, yeah, get more. Well, I mean, as we talked about earlier, earlier being, a couple weeks ago when we did the recap, the more lots that are there, I mean, it does spread the money around a little bit more. So I mean, I'll be curious to see their approach. Nobody talked to me about it after we did the recap or whatnot. We will talk with Joe and Nadia in a couple weeks, as I showed on the schedule. So I mean, I did want to ask them about that. What did they think of the results as compared to the number of lots that they had in that auction? Because even though we said that things were deals, of course the prices were still really high. They just didn't hit the crazy levels that we've been expecting things to hit as often as they have in the past. So yeah, well, at least this auction will be going when I get Joe and Nadia on, and maybe we'll even talk a little bit about that versus doing another preview with them. We can work a preview / interview in on that one. Magnolia Death in the Family cover I didn't notice that, but what was that? There was a Magnolia in there somewhere. I think I just passed it. Yeah, there you go. Mike Mignola Batman 428 cover. So, yep, going to be a very good auction again from Heritage. Stephen Nam, we don't believe you for 1 second. So, all right, so there's that. We can hide that now. But yeah, I mean, clearly there's going to be some good stuff in there. What is it? Another John Romita Sr. Amazing Spider-Man 52. Looks like it's got Kingpin on it. Huh. At any rate, yep, lots of good stuff in this one. Frank Miller, Daredevil 167. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, it's just enough to make everybody cry. Well, here another one. Which one's that? Oh, from 183. That's a good page, too. All right. Well, I'm going to close that window. We don't need to look at that anymore until the auction starts. So, all right. So I've gotten through all those things. Why don't we get on to the CAF update? And it was actually, I always forget when Heritage does these special auctions. I don't get to see all of the stuff that they have on, but they had another illustration art auction. So the week ended up being really up as far as sales go. and I didn't see the Watchmen page. So, all right. Again, Michaela, you're making me sad here. I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to go back and look at the Heritage Auction after the show's over. But yes, the week in question, of course, is April 1st through the 11th through the 17th. See, it's been a long week, everybody. But and as you know, we start with the dealer results. So dealers had a terrible week the week before, where they only sold $207,000 in artwork. But this past week they did great. Albert in particular did phenomenal. For the total sales for the 11th through the 17th was $364,000, and Albert, with only 11 sales, had $175,000 of those sales. So he literally made about 40% of the sales for the dealers last week in the pieces that he sold, and you'll see why, because he did have what did he have? 3 pieces in the top 6. But let's see. Ramita Man came second with 34 sales, $86,000. Anthony, 75 sales, $37,000. Will had 2 sales for $17,000. And let's see, rounding out those over $10,000 was Glenn, 11 sales, just under $16,000 in sales. So let me go ahead and show you the top 6 sales from comic art dealers. And remember, these are always asking prices, everybody. I don't know the actual price of pieces sold for with original comic art dealers whom I host. I only know that the item sold and it was at a specific price when it was marked as sold. I do not know if there was any haggling going on, if there was some trade involved, or anything of that sort. I just know what it was priced at when it left the pool of CAF inventory that we share on CAF. When it's marked as sold and moves out, that's when I put it into my market data and make it part of our reporting. So always keep that in mind. So okay, let's take a look at these dealer results. First up, well, there you go. There's the official total, $364,835 in sales. First piece sold by Albert was the Neil Adams Green Lantern 83 cover. Asking price, $85,000 on this one. And next up, another one from Albert. This is a pinup page from FF issue 11 by Kirby and Ayers. And the asking price on this one, $65,000. Speaking of Prince Namor. And what do we got now? Now, this one is from Mr. Berkey. House of Secrets 92 cover painting from 1971. I did not read the story on this one. It was sold for $38,000 as an asking price. Artist, of course, Bernie Wrightson. I'm assuming recreation or prelim. I don't know. Let's see. Next up, What If? This is the first Jane Foster as Thor by Dave Hunt and Rick Hoberg. This was sold for $10,500 by Will. Next up, another piece by Albert. This is from Fantastic Four 235. It's page 5 from that issue. John Byrne, of course. Man, I love John Byrne Fantastic Four, especially the early stuff like that one, issue 235. $9,000 was the asking price on that. And rounding everything out was this Tusca Esposito Iron Man 59 splash from 1973, sold by Mr. Berkey for the asking price of $7,500. So there you have it. Top 6 sales. And all this stuff, of course, is always on CAF. We write these reports. The dealer report is written every Monday. It's usually out by noon. The auction house report goes out every Tuesday. And again, that's usually by noon. And we also do that auction preview that goes out Wednesday. And then we do a recap on Wednesday as well. So if you're not subscribed to the Wednesday recap mailing, it's always a good way to kind of catch up on this stuff if you don't like going to CAF and reading our news posts on a regular basis. But but you should. You definitely should. At least get the recap email on Wednesday, because that pretty much covers everything that we do. That the custom stuff we write Monday through Wednesday that Colin puts together, works his tail off putting that content together for us. So you should definitely be checking it out, because he does a lot more. I only report on top 6 stuff, but he's generally he'll kind of go as far as he feels as needed. He'll show top 15. That sort of thing. So he covers things in a bit more detail. He does a little bit more research that I don't do. He'll maybe take the top the Jim Lee Batman cover, and he'll go and look at the last 2 years of Jim Lee Batman covers and kind of put that sale into perspective. So we don't do a ton of research, but we try to at least make every report be a little bit informational. So again, if you're not reading those, please take the time. At least get the Wednesday email that we put together. And you can sign up for that pretty much if you go to edit your profile. Any email you get from CAF that we send out, there's a link at the bottom where you can kind of subscribe to different stuff. And the Wednesday email, it literally says something like the Wednesday Digest, I believe is what it's called. So sign up for that, and you'll never miss any of the reports that Colin puts together for us every single week. So we need Colin to do 10 picks. We need Colin to do an interview. I have asked Colin to do that. He's probably, I don't know if he's watching. He watches a lot, but I've asked him. Colin doesn't. He's kind of turned me down. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's changed his mind. But I feel like I've asked him a few times, and I've asked him to help me, do stuff when we do the shows. And he's always said, I'm better behind the camera, than in front of it. So, but no, I'd love to have Colin on. I mean, if anybody's met Colin's outgoing. He's funny. He's been collecting for a very long time. He's got a lot of great art in his collection. I'd love to have him on and talk to him. He deserves to be in the spotlight. And there you go. Colin is watching. He said it's not in my contract to do that, but it isn't in your contract, Colin. But we should definitely have you on the show sometime. Come on, many people would love to know, what you look like, what you think about the hobby, for all the work that you've done. You've written for, you've helped convention scene for 15 years, probably. I mean, you've got a time in the hobby more than many. And, and it's interesting. You got a lot, and you got a lot of great, we've gotten a lot of great art over the years, the stuff you've picked up at shows. So it would be a good show, Colin. So let's maybe this summer, think about it. Just think about it. So, all right, next up, auction houses. And this is where I was talking about, I tend to miss some things going on. Heritage did have a illustration signature auction going on that didn't really have a lot of noteworthy pieces that that we might remember, but there was a nice Bill Sienkiewicz piece in there. What was it? It was it was a Blade Runner illustration. It sold for $37,500. I don't have a picture of it, but the Heritage signature auction for illustration art totaled $1.56 million in sales last week from 397 pieces that sold. So the biggest selling piece was a Patrick Nagel illustration that went for $125,000. Then there was a one other Uncle Sam illustration that went for $57,000, and then the Bill Sienkiewicz Blade Runner illustration went for $37.5. So yeah, that was if you can get the link in the report and you can see it for yourself. But I don't include those in in this top 6 video that I put together. So last week in sales, $1.9 million total for auction houses, including that one big one from Heritage. Of course, 14.3 million in sales the week before that because of the big Heritage signature auction. But both eBay and Heritage Weekly actually did really well. eBay sold just over $200,000 in sales, with less than 900 auctions total closed successfully. And Heritage also almost hit $200,000 with 281 lots closing successfully in their weekly auction as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 3 from eBay along with the top 3 from Heritage. And here we go. So this first one, and all the eBay ones were not buy it nows or make offers. These were all auctions. This is a Charles Schultz strip from, gosh, it's not even written on here. There was bad description. Went for $14,500. This was the best image that they had, so I can't even zoom in on it. Next up, we had a J. Scott Campbell #1 sale from eBay last week. Now we've got a Wonder Woman J. Scott Campbell. What is it? Wonder Woman 750 variant cover. This one went for $13,288 at auction. And finally, a Jack Kirby Joe Sinnott FF 70 page 5, went for $10,500 on eBay. And I believe from the same seller that had the week or two before as well. And so from Heritage, big one. Oh, of course, I didn't update that. Now, this one's on me because I did that today. Doggone it. Milton Caniff, for crying out loud. Terry and the Pirates Daily from 1939. It went for $18,000. Did I screw up more of these? Yes, look at this. I have really flubbed up my reporting today. Corey Walker. This is from Invincible 86, page 3, $6,600. I'm glad I'm fixing all these. And man, did I butcher my graphics today. John Byrne, Dick Giordano, Man of Steel, issue 1, page 11, went for $5,760. Well, I can't fire myself. Son of a gun. Well, that's embarrassing. Well, all right. Let's see, I didn't find it as humorous as I thought. Oh, well, what am I going to do, everybody? What am I going to do? My son is, yes, they are all wrong, Ron. I really messed that up. You can't take these things back. Um, so, so let's see, what was I going to go with that? But yeah, well, I was going to say, why did I do the intro or those videos clips today? Because my son is in Berlin. He's competing in Pokemon this weekend, for they do 4 internationals every year. And, he's in Berlin. So I had to go ahead and do it. No oatmeal for me. No, none tonight, man. How did I screw that up? I really thought, well, it's one of those nights, everybody. Mistakes happen, as Hobby says. What was the question? I saw somebody. What was this? Is this Asian American advice? Are some art dealers just refusing to sell the art they are advertising online? I've run into dealers just not responding to offers to buy their artworks. Well, I mean, if you're making offers to dealers, I can tell you a lot of times, if the dealer doesn't like the offer and they don't know you, they might not respond. But if you were trying to buy something at the price they were listing it, and they're not replying, that would be a different matter. I mean, that normally wouldn't happen, right? I mean, if a buyer was willing to pay a dealer's asking price, even if they didn't know you, they would get back in touch. So all I can think of is if you're making an offer and they don't know you and it's not an offer they want, some of them, I mean, remember all these dealers, I mean, yeah, they're in business, but they're also all collectors too. So they it's the low hanging fruit thing. If they don't know you, they don't feel like they're insulting you by not replying. And I'm not saying that's common. It's not common. I would say most dealers by and large would at least say no thanks or something, if you were making an offer that they didn't like. But yeah, I mean, again, every dealer, every rep is going to be very different, from one to the next. We all know that. So, okay. Yeah. And you said you did try to make an offer to buy a piece that was advertised. Yeah. I mean, it's not commonplace. It's definitely not commonplace, but because I think most people would say no thanks, or, like on the Dueling Dealers show, at least counter if the offer was somewhere that, they were at. So no, not a small amount of money. I get it. Well, heck, the hobby, most things aren't a small amount of money in the hobby any longer, but, Jason's like, who? Say who? But yeah, it all really just depends. I mean, like I say, I mean, they're all going to be different. But hey, I'll tell you what. If you don't want to, mention any names, you can always shoot me an email, bill@comicartfans.com. And if you feel like somebody should have gotten back to you, I can always apply some leverage to these guys, since in one way or another I work with most of them. So feel free if you want. I mean, I could try to assist, because, you never know. At times, some of these guys, and I think many of you will know who they are still on email services like AOL. I mean, my God, these guys could have stuff going into their spam and they don't even know it. So there are, anything can happen. That's all I can say. I'm amazed. As much as I get email from so many different people in the hobby, I still get stuff that goes into my spam on my Mac mail. And you would think, after all the years of using Mac mail, that it would know whom I should whose mails should never be spammed. And yet I still find stuff in my spam. I go on them. I pop my Gmail account and I'm always finding spam in my Gmail on the website of things. So I never even get to see it. So yeah, you know how it goes. Anyway, hey, I see Khalil is in the green room, and it is time to move on to the more fun side of the show. And that's where we get to talk about our 10 picks. And Khalil, how are you?
Hey, man. You hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Great. You're hilarious. So everybody, today I was like, all right, Bill, I'm going to listen in tonight, but be ready by maybe, 10 Eastern. He's like, I don't know, man. Probably, but maybe a little earlier, because I don't have too much to go through.
I know.
You have too much fun with this stuff, man.
Look, this is all I wrote down tonight. I mean, I really didn't write that. My list is usually filling the page. So yeah. I am sorry, Khalil. I really did feel like I was going to get through this.
It's awesome.
A little bit quicker.
No, it's awesome. And happy birthday, my friend. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. I got this package in
1 year away from double nickel
a few days ago. So is it okay if I open it?
Open it up, man. Yes. Let's do it. Right. Open it up. And by the way, while you're doing that, yes, I am a Cyclops fan too. Everybody, go ahead with your geek comments here in the chat here right now. But Syke, you know, he is a geek, but he kind of reminds me of a NFL kicker, right? Like everybody gives him, you know what, until it's time, and nobody wants to be him. I feel like he makes the tough decisions. You know, Wolverine clowns him, but he also respects him because he's the one that, you know, makes the tough calls. So I don't know, man.
I know. Hey, Cyclops, I've, you know, at the end of the day, I was always a fan of Cyclops. I don't know why. I hate to say I liked him more than Wolverine half the time, and I guess maybe because, you know, he was a leader. He had to be the analytical guy, and he never had anything really catchy or funny to say. So I don't know. I kind of appreciated that.
Yeah. Now, so we were getting Cyclops is awful, bad husband, bad father. What's a sports analogy? Oh yeah, love it. Thank you, Jason. And then the other side. So when you guys were doing top 5 X-Men, I said I would put Quietly in, and I don't know if he qualified. So I agree with you there. I feel like he changed the game on the X books and comics for me at the time. Like totally.
I mean, the book was just mediocre. You know, the art was okay, but the stories weren't really there. And you bring Morrison in and Quietly, and they made a huge impact on on that book, on the title, changed everything. So. Yes. And that's how I was trying to rank my X-Men people was based on their, what their contributions meant to the books. That's why, you know, as much as I like Kirby, I like the first, 12 to 14 issues that he worked on. I just felt like he wasn't, even though he started the book, you know, it just I couldn't put Kirby in my top 5 because I didn't feel like his heart was in it. You know, you look at the art, I mean, it's good, and I'd love to own it. I'd love to own some, but it's just not like Kirby FF, right? I mean, it wasn't just not the same kind of caliber of stuff. Right. So yeah, I would have put Quietly ahead of Neil Adams or Jim Lee. Okay. Jim Lee was my number 5.
Well, I don't know if I'd put him up there, but John Cassaday's run with Joss Whedon on Astonishing X-Men was crazy. I mean, that's another like psych run that's pretty awesome. Somebody puts here, Cyclops marries clones of his wife. Fair enough. But then I was always like, so why does Psylocke and Emma, what are they digging about this dude? You know what I mean? Is it because he was unavailable? I don't know, but
right. Yeah. I know. You know, I can agree with that train of thought though. Like, you know, why was he so interested, you know, in just moving on from Jean so quickly? You know what I mean? There was something wrong there. It never made a whole lot of sense. All right, now, so I've opened up the package, but now inside of it is as you can see, it says Thor horn on it. So I have no idea what's inside of it.
Let's see
what could be inside. It's kind of like in an extra bag here. Hang on. Oh, wait a minute here. Is
it pretty? It might be because it could. It's a flagon.
I've got beer, and now I've got something to drink it with.
Yeah, there should be a stand there.
There is
to have it sitting here.
So you know that's okay. That's what I was trying to figure out because the way they had it in here, they had it slid over it. So I guess I'm going to have to. I hope it comes with instructions so I don't screw it up.
Yeah, there's a stand in there for.
Yep, there is a stand. I just don't know how to use it. Oh, wait a minute. What else is in here? And a small Thor hammer is in here as well.
It's a bottle opener.
Oh, it's a bottle. Oh,
yeah.
Who doesn't need a Thor?
That's right.
Hammer bottle opener. I mean, come on. It's all right, but yes, I'm going to end up needing instructions on how to use this portion of it with the
all good.
Flag.
You got to figure it out, man.
This is awesome. Thank you, Khalil.
Yeah, just the evening, whether it's here or someplace. And you did mention earlier that you could be persuaded to drink things other than beer.
That's true.
So, yeah, I may have to help you with that, my friend.
Well, you have done that. So no, this is fantastic. I can't thank you enough.
Happy birthday. And to echo other comments and words here this evening, we appreciate you, man. I feel like I can speak for the community when we say there's a lot of folks that I know now and consider friends and fellow collectors that I would not have known otherwise. right? So that said, I am looking forward to meeting you and many others in person here in Charlotte in a couple months. I just bought my ticket today, so I'm plane ticket. So I'm officially heading out.
Awesome. You
Yeah.
got your hotel and everything booked?
Yes, got that all set up. I probably should get a ticket to the show.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't done yet either. I hate to say it, but I know
Did you see
one way
the
or another
list?
I'll be
Did you see the
getting
list?
in.
I mean, I have never met Chris Bachalo. I've never met Ron Friends. I mean, I've met a lot of folks at cons over the years, but there's a list that I have not, and a few of them are being checked off as the weeks go by. So I'm excited about that.
No, same here. I've never met Fran. Well, I can't say that. I did. I think I met him when I was really early in collecting. I think I might have picked up a sketch from him at Pittsburgh. But so it's been like 20 years since I've got to talk to him. Never met Chris. So yeah, and the guest list just keeps getting better, right? I mean, it's definitely looking like a good show. Initially, I was a little worried, that maybe we weren't going to have as many artists to buy artwork from, but no, there's nothing to worry about there. I think.
And to be honest, man, I will go to see the art, but I'm more excited just to be in the scene, like be in it, with everybody. And we'll definitely get to the portfolios, and I'll have mine on my shoulder, and hopefully I'll get some things to pick up. But just being there, I think, is going to be dope in and of itself.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, just being able to, hey, live chats, these things are fun, but getting to hang out in person. And for many, again, just like you were talking to me, it's like we've made friends over the last 2 years with so many people, right? Doing these shows and getting involved in these chats and doing Comic Art Lives, the show, all these things. It's just brought us all together in such a unique way. And we've never, by and large, gotten to meet each other in person. So the Heroes show is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get on to your 10. You get to go. You're going to go first, as I always like to do with the guests here. And let's get this screen set up for us. Try to get it resized a little better.
All right. So in no particular order this evening. So a couple thoughts is there was, like every week, I feel like there was a lot of great stuff to pick from. I felt like I wanted to go a little bit of a different route from things I've done before. Like there was a great Gene Cohen Daredevil page. There was Paulo Sequeira. Dan put up a cover, Electra cover. Iranga had a great piece too that he did for Daryl. There's just a lot of good stuff. But I'm like, okay, I've picked certain folks before, certain artist collections. So I'm going to kind of veer off a little bit and expand a bit. So this is by Tom Riley. I wasn't as familiar with him, but I thought it was topical in the sense, we had a Morbius movie release a few weeks back. I did see it. Nothing to necessarily write home about, but I'm excited to see any kind of character, especially those that aren't as well known in a different medium. So I enjoyed it for what it was. I guess I'll say that. But Tom Riley, newer artist, he did this one shot called Morbius Bond of Blood, and this is very early in the story. And I just thought there's two things. He has great brushwork and he has a great sense of storytelling. That's just, I don't know what it is about comic art, man, but that's impressing me more and more as I'm looking at pieces. I love a good pinup splash cover, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, some of this stuff has just been impressing me more about the comic art medium in and of itself. And so it's a kind of classic vampire piece, I'd say, right? You've got Morbius kind of sweeping down, so you see him from the front, far away. Camera flips to behind him, swooping down, and he's descending upon his prey, right? So if you move down to the left, you see the mugger, you see Morbius there in the back, so the camera flips back around, far away into the front. And then you flip back to the right and you see the guy's expression. And that's the other thing. Riley does great expressions. I think George, Chris, they have some pieces from the Thing book, Thing series up on CAF that look great too. But so you see, the shadow hand, like it's coming, right? And his expression, you flip to Morbius, grabs him, and then the bite, like just a top to bottom scene, like executed perfectly. And the brushwork is nice. And it reminds me of Chris Samnee in terms of its simplicity, but it ain't simple. You know what I mean? It's not as rendered, not as detailed, but I think that's part of the appeal, particularly on the storytelling side. So last panel, you see the bite, and look at the guy getting bitten is shadowed in, like to emphasize Morbius. I don't know. I was pretty impressed with this one.
No, same here. I really like their approach. Like you said, the inking style. I mean, I think that's one thing that I've gotten better at as well. Having Chris Norcon and whatnot, just kind of helping me realize different things, camera angles. And this one has it all. I mean, it's really well laid out as far as the panels go. And I mean, I love the second panel here with him swooping through. And yeah, I mean, it's all great. I love it.
Yeah. And I've always liked the character Morbius. As far as my comic collection, Amazing Spider-Man 100, 101, 102, those are a few of my favorite books of all time, just cover-wise, and the lizards involved. So I've always had a soft spot for the character, the living vampire. The fact that Marvel couldn't, add or these characters that were dead or occult at the time. So he was a living vampire, and he had red and blue as opposed to black on his costume. So all that stuff is just great. So yeah, I was curious to find if there was anything Morbius like in the last week I'd like to see. Morbius is still better than Cyclops.
That's Marcus saying that, so you got to take it with a grain of salt.
That's all good, man. I'm cool with that because I consider them both up here. Yeah.
All right, I got my like on that one. Now this is an interesting one. I only get my like on this one. So
this is a Swamp Thing variant by Anon RK. You can see his full last name there, and I'm not as familiar with the artist as some others are. He's actually repped by Cam with Inky Knuckles. So he reps him. And so this is a variant done for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so it was weird because right when I saw it, I was impressed. But it was also like how I felt. It was like haunting, but beautiful, but I didn't know what's going on, but I loved it all at the same time. So it's one of those kind of pieces that kind of like, just kind of hits you. And then you try to figure out why it resonates. I'm not sure if I sent you a link. So here's the color. So I call it out because I think there's benefits to both. So here you can make out what's happening a bit more. You can see the face, and you can see Swamp Thing here, his actual face with the red eyes, and then the almost cross sections of the human person to the back. So it's cool to see the colors there. But then, man, when you look at the black and white art, I think it's great to see side by side. You can't make that out as clearly, and I think that's a big amount of the appeal. So just to me, a stunning piece in Jason K's gallery. The Morbius piece was in the gallery of Larry Jones.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, for the first piece. Yep. No, this thing is amazing. When I saw it on CAF, I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful, and it's in its bit of, semi-grotesque kind of way it's drawn. But man, it's just. I was floored by this. I would have picked this one too if you hadn't picked it, because I was kind of following the artwork going on the CAF last week as well and setting some pieces aside. This was one of them. So I'm glad you picked it.
Mrez Go Lucky says disturbingly beautiful. That's kind of it,
Yeah.
And
Mr. Easy Go Lucky, I think is
Mrez Go Lucky. So I don't know what it is, man. So my I think I told you this. My mother is Navajo. She grew up on a reservation, and I did for a part of my life. I don't know. So whenever I see that word, R-E-Z, that's what I think. I think res. I don't know. So that's probably what that was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could be pronouncing it wrong.
I think you're right. I'm actually sure you are.
But yeah, that's just great. I didn't do that, but just to see it in its entirety, it's really beautiful. Yeah. Nope, great pick on that one, and I think I got my like on it. All right, so let's see, next piece up, Aquaman.
Varying things up a bit. So this is Alex Ross, and generally, I guess I'd say I probably wouldn't pick Alex Ross. Generally, I'm more when it comes to my aesthetic or personal what taste when it comes to comic art. I do like more stylized, more traditional animated comic booky look. Mm-hmm. You could say. Cartoony, but with maybe some realistic rendering. However, this really just stood out to me this last week. It's Aquaman, and people have their thoughts about Aquaman, but it was using one color palette, so it's literally a bluish green through the whole thing, and the way he uses the hues all the way through for the face, the bubbles, the hand you can see is leather, and so you see the light source coming from Aquaman's right. I don't know. I was very impressed with it. I thought it was a perfect kind of Aquaman piece, and it was done at I think for a comic. It it was done for a comic shop like show in the early 2000s, and just kind of, I mean, Alex can just kind of whip this out. You know what I mean? Like, and of course, his super rendered finished covers are great, but I thought this was kind of cool just to say this is something he can just kind of do. I feel like on a semi whim.
Right.
Also,
well, it feels like that.
The gallery of Lee Hester, who just joined. I have Alexa going. Alexa,
2022.
Dismiss. That's an alarm that I have to get my kids brushing their teeth. So,
we've got similar alarms around the house.
Right. So what I was saying was, Lee Hester, and Lee is the owner of Lee's Comics in the Bay Area in California. And I was like, wow, So I was a college student from 98 to 01 in the Bay Area. And I used to ride my bike to his shop to get my fix during that time when I had no money and had to kind of pick and choose what books I could get. I sent a note to him to say, thanks for that. Thanks for helping me get my fix while I was in school. Not sure if I would have been able to do otherwise. So he just joined CAF, and the piece in and of itself is great, but it's also cool to see him on your site because that was a nice connection for me in the comic, just getting comics as a younger person.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's for me. I don't get to see a lot of the new accounts that come in, and I hadn't seen Lee Hester's CAF gallery before, but I'm going to add it to my watch list now. And again, piece-wise, I mean, Alex makes everything look easy, right? Like you said, he could do it on a whim. But man, I mean, it is beautiful, and I love the fact that it's all just it's just in that blue. That aquamarine kind of.
Alex Maleev is another that's good at that. You look at some of his Daredevil pieces; he does a lot of Daredevil, but you have like one color throughout, and it's just so impressive how you can do that. How he can have the contrast and just all that kind of come through with one color.
Well, I love it. Good pick, and there you go. If this was on Dueling Dealers, it might be the first Aquaman piece to get sold on the show.
And Bill, first 2 out of 3, DC. You won't see that from KG very often. Oh, I use my name in the third person. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
I do that from time to time.
You're not going to see too much DC in my picks from today, so I'm glad you got some in.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is
Comic Art Boston. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is Sean Chen, and I feel like personally, so this is partially in there. Mostly because of the art, but also because of what I enjoyed when I was younger. So I just spoke about 98 to 2001. So that's when that time where a lot of the Marvel heroes were moved to the Image creators, right? Heroes Reborn or whatever it was. And so when they were done, it was Heroes Return. And so you had them back in the characters back in the Marvel universe proper with these creative teams that I personally think killed it. And one of them was Kurt Busiek and Sean Chen on Iron Man. So this is an example from their run. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Rob Hunter's inks on the detail when it comes to that background and everything. But I think that pairing really killed it on this run. And this is just a sweet example in terms of detail. It's clearly Sean Chen's work. And if you look from panel to panel, there's something to see everywhere. And of course, this is the Whiplash version where you've got the Gimp mask from Pulp Fiction.
Right. Yeah, that's why Marcus just said Bill Lash on there. Thank you, Marcus. I knew as soon as I saw that image you were going to say.
Yeah, I mean, there is that, but I don't know, man. It's just, to me, it's super impressive. Man. And I think Sean Chen's name is not spoken enough in terms of Iron Man runs and Iron Man contribution. So.
Yep. And Robert Berman says Chen did solid work on X-Men in the end as well.
And this is in the gallery. I'm sorry, this is in the gallery of Comic Art B.
That is, Comic Art. That's Comic Art Boston. For those of you who have seen them on Dueling Dealers buying art quite a bit. So yeah, and he's got an amazing
collection. Yeah.
Really
and it spans the gamut, right? I think a lot of it is Marvel, but you see a lot of the older stuff to the contemporary stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was happy to see this come up this last week.
No, that's a good and a good reminder on Sean. He's somebody that, again, I don't think I featured many pieces of his in the last 2 years, and yeah, definitely kind of overlooked, right? But I mean, he's a great draftsman, and it's a beautiful page.
Yeah.
Brett
This is Brett
Blevins.
Blevins. Yeah. I love Brett Blevins. It's fortunate we don't see as much of his stuff these days, but he'll still do pieces here and there. And there was actually 2 added this week, and I had a hard time picking between. There was a Magic Lockheed Shadowcat piece posted this week by him that was traditional kind of black and white, and then there was this one. So this one was posted by Andre, and it's, to me, an example of Brett doing everything. Like, he does the black and white and he does the paints, and this is to me a great example of the latter. So this is Danny Moonstar, basically possessed, and then she's a Valkyrie at the time, and then her horse, her Pegasus, basically. And so they're basically enveloped by fire, become like fire beings, and it's just the paints are outstanding. I'd love to see it in person, but Brett's one of these guys. He actually lives here in Northern Arizona. He used to come to shows. I'm not sure if he will again, but I love talking with him. I think about his stuff fondly on New Mutants, some of his Cloak and Dagger stuff, and I particularly love his females. He has a charming look to them.
Yeah, I'll have to see. I didn't see the other piece you were mentioning. I'll have to check that out after we're done.
Yeah.
But no, this is really nice, and I've always liked Blevins' work. And what was this? It was known as a commission. It's an Andre. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I didn't see this one when it was posted either.
Well, good.
Yeah. Well,
that's why we got 2 of us.
That's right. Exactly. That's why we do the show like we do. All right. No, great pick on that one as well. Then this piece I know was up on Catskill for a while, and it was like one of those pieces I was like, maybe, and then it was gone. From Mighty Thor 407 by Friends and Sinnott.
Yeah, so part of it is the piece, Bill. Part of it is Friends' contribution to Thor, because he had his own style, and then in Thor he kind of moved to a Kirby-ish look and a Kirby-ish energy, which was great. I mean, there was a real strong throwback feel to his run on Thor, the later run on Thor, which I thought was great, man. And you can see a little bit of that here. Now, with Friends, just so much energy, and you can tell he's channeling Kirby in terms of the energy. So on the top, it's the setup, and then it's the whirl, and then it's the takeoff, it's the pow in the middle panel, and then you switch to the other perspective, like they're zooming, and now they're way over there. So you can see on the bottom left.
Oh yeah.
And then the other side, the other part of it too is Friends. He actually, over his runs on many books, he would take certain panels and basically take them from other artists who had done, key runs on the character. I have a piece featuring Black Panther that has a John Buscema panel, basically. And this middle one, to me, it reminded me of Thor 380, which is one of my favorite comics of all time. It's Thor versus his main nemesis when it comes to mythology, Norse mythology, the Midgard serpent. And it was done by Simonson over splash pages. And one of them has this middle panel right here in terms of zooming with that, holding his fingers on Mjolnir, just taking him forward. So it reminded me of that too. So just all that, really enjoyed it about the piece. And plus, you're a Thor guy. You got a Thor flagon today. The Love and Thunder trailer just came out a couple days ago.
I know, it came out on my birthday. I was so happy. Right, and then we had that sale by Will from the What If issue. So first Jane Foster, Thor. So yeah, it's all happening.
And I will say, this is a lot of this stuff. With the prices being what they are, it's tough. But there are certain spots where I feel like you can still get good value, and to this day, we'll see how it goes. But I feel like Friends Thor, you can get a pretty nice example, and it won't kill you in terms of your pocketbook. At least for now. Right.
No, I mean, if you're not following Catskill's updates and you like Friends' work or Sinnott's work, you definitely should, because, I know that they're kind of slowly metering out the work that they have, but there's always, whenever Catskill does a drop, there's usually a few pieces in there by Friends and Synat on Thor, and there'll be pages like this one. And if you want to get a good example, you can still get one for say $700-800 sometimes. I mean, maybe a really choice page might be $1,200, but still being able to get anything from this time period at those kind of prices is it's hard to say it's a bargain, but it's affordable. So nope.
See that middle panel too? Do you see how Mjolnir is slightly breaking panel? I love that stuff, man. Yeah. Like it's the one area where they emphasize a little energy by him kind of almost popping out of the panel. So that's another thing.
Like Tony Hart said, Friends is so underrated. I would agree. I love Friends. Let's see, and that is true, Ruben. That's the thing. They are going up. So you got to get on them now. But as a choice page, I mean, Anthony had a couple. Well, he had one really nice page. He had that one splash page on Dueling Dealers, and he still has it on the site that didn't sell it. But I think he had that at like $3,500. But Thor was just really tiny on it. And he had another one where I forget. But at any rate, you're right. They are the better pages are going up, but there aren't many at 25. Most of them are in the.
I think so. I think you see a lot in that one, like maybe 750 to 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the sweet spot right now. But they've been going up. I mean, because I built Catskill site, and I remember when we first put stuff out there. You figure a year ago those pages were 550 to 850. Or maybe 1,000 on some. But yeah, it's just everybody's looking at the market and knowing what there are. And fortunately, with stuff like Friends and Synat, you actually have good sales going on. It's not like a rep trying to figure out what he is a rep, right? He's repping Friends and he reps Synat before he passed. Still reps the estate sales,
right?
But unlike reps who are doing modern work, I mean, this is work that was done 30 years ago. So he's got plenty of sales history to look at to figure out what to price these pieces at when he's rolling them out.
Right.
So,
and on the top left, don't you just like how when Thor just talks about himself, like I'm that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. It makes me laugh, and it's cool. There's some comments here about the Love and Thunder trailer and the looking like a comedy and whatnot. It's funny because with the Ragnarok, right, the last one, I really enjoyed that film, but I didn't think it was a Thor movie. Like to me, Thor's a noble character. He's not going to stand there and say the Hulk is a friend from work, that kind of stuff. However, that didn't bother me because it's a different medium. You know what I mean? You make a good movie. That's number one, as long as you keep the core of the character. I'm sorry, I'm going off in a little soapbox, but you know what I mean? That's kind of how I think about when it comes to the movies. I'm not the comics are the comics, the movies are the movies, but keep the essence of the character there and make a good film. Yeah.
Right. No. Well, it's new readers or at least viewers. That's their gateway into hopefully comics. So if that's what it takes, then I'm all for it. I mean, hey, somebody want to know what you were drinking earlier, unless you don't want to tell us.
Oh no, so this is Makers actually, and it's Makers from Costco. My wife went to Costco, and there's you get the big bottle there, and it's pretty inexpensive. So yeah, I don't stay on top of the trying things out like I used to, and that's just kind of whatever's easy. I've got 2 little kids, at home, so it's just. I never make these shows live, Bill. I try to watch later on when they're in bed and all that. So, I'm in the West. So half the time I'm on Pacific and half on Mountain. Right. So that's prime, fam, dinner, all that. So
I know. Yeah. There's just no good time to do these really. So I feel lucky that people do watch them after the fact though.
We do.
All right, so now we got a Drew Struzan painting from Harlem.
Well, this is a different kind of comic art, right? These are 2 of the best comics ever to do it. So not comic art, but comedy, right? Mm-hmm. So again, I'm not the biggest realistic, like photorealistic kind of whatever, but I love this because one, I love the movie. So if y'all haven't seen Harlem Nights, it's a great flick among Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor's staple. Their faces are great. Their faces are photorealistic, but I like the whole, like, look at their suits. So their faces are spot on, but look at how the suit is rendered on Richard Pryor there. Like that's not going photorealistic. That's going with a little like nice little different kind of art. And then look at Eddie's jacket. Eddie's jacket is the artboard. And he kind of shades in a little bit of rendering to get some, texture on there. But I don't know. So right when I saw it, I'm like, I love this movie. I've never featured a piece in my head by Struzan, and interestingly, in the last 2 weeks, Bill, there was a lot of great pieces posted by Drew and Monty B, who posted this
Monty
one.
B, yeah.
Posted a lot of them. I mean, great stuff. But again, not in necessarily my wheelhouse, but venturing into movies a bit, and again, it's a comic connection in a different way.
No, it's beautiful. I mean, Struzen's, I'm a huge fan of his work. I wish I could get down to the Galactic Gallery. That would be, that would be on my bucket list, just to see a lot of his works in person. But no, I'm he's the king of movie posters, right? At the end of the day, I mean, still sought after today for.
Well, they're the usual suspects, right? There's Star Wars, there's certain properties, right? But this one, I was like, man, you don't see these two guys very often. So, I mean, I appreciate both these gentlemen in terms of their contribution to comedy. So that was part of the pick tonight, man.
No, very good pick. And Struzen is, again, somebody that we don't pick too often, but I mean, his works always end up usually in the Heritage recaps. I mean, so highly sought after, of course. And no, great pick.
Cool.
All right. So
now, all right, hey man, more DC, brother. And this is from Ivan. Is it Reese or Rice? Y'all correct me. I don't know, but it's Ivan. And this is his run on Green Lantern. And this is back when, I mean, man, in the early to mid, the 2000s, 2010s, Green Lantern was huge. You remember this, Bill? Like Jeff Johns. There was a number of artists. They had different color, like core. And it was my entry into DC in a way myself. And so I think he really, really killed it on this series. And I felt like when I was reading the book and when I was perusing art, when I became an art collector on CAF, I just got the sense he poured everything he had into this stuff, man. And he had different inkers on him. This is Eau Claire Albert, I think. I don't know. And I love double page splashes that are like, you can kind of toe the line between splash and spread. I know you got a category for both of them. Right. So this is almost like a splash, but on the right, you got some panel storytelling. I mean, I love those kind of pieces where you got the POW image and then you got a little bit of storytelling. And you can see in the fourth down from the top, Hal's expression there. I don't know, just something you can really, really pour over. I love how the Green Lantern symbol is like lifting off of Hal in terms of the energy on his chest. Oh, yeah. And I had to throw a DPS in there. My man James. I like DPSs too. My man James is the big DPS collector. And I just had to vary things up. And this was a good one that I don't know gets enough credit because, the Green Lantern's still a big character, but not like he was during this time.
I wonder what James thinks about the panels breaking up.
He commented on it, man.
What's that?
He commented on it.
Did he? Let's see what he say.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. Well, his art on the series was fantastic, especially his DVS pages. But of course, and look, we got Marcus commented on it, and Ruben and Hart. Hey.
So you say Marcus commenting on something like it's a novelty or it's like a. Something you should not be expecting.
I'm more thinking because they're in the chat with us too tonight.
Yes.
Marcus, yes. Ruben, and Hart. I don't know if Hart's still here, but it's always nice to see the people who are engaged on CAF. To chat with us here too.
So I've gotten this weird place where I follow a lot of people now, Bill, and it's great. I follow a lot of collectors and what they post, and I like commenting. I think people like this to hear what others think about their art, but now I'm having a hard time keeping up. I'll do it, but I'm having a harder time keeping up with the number of folks that I follow. It's all good though. It's a good problem to have, man.
Yep. Scott Spilkey said Marcus always has good comments. Yes, he does, and he writes. He writes great riffs on songs too.
I posted a Punisher piece this week, and he put a lyric riff on Whitney Houston's greatest. No, not the greatest of all. One of her songs. That was unbelievable, man. I mean,
I love it when I come across one of those, and he's done one for me as well on the Vampirella. Man, well, great pickup for them as well. So, okay, so we got a piece by Miko Swayan.
Yeah, this is a little more, I guess, usual suspect for me in terms of Spider-Man, and my man Paul P. he posts Spider-Man work pretty often. It's just
Mhm.
great stuff. And Miko does great work. And honestly, I feel like some I'm like, okay, and some I'm blown away by. This is the one in that latter category because I feel like it's like 4 different pieces of art. There's the figure, there's the web cape that I
Mhm.
feel like is a different style, different tools, techniques he used. There's the background, and then there's the black and white border, which mirrors Spider-Man 20,099 #1. So this is meant to be an homage to that cover.
Mhm.
And I think Paul actually put images of both the colored piece of this one and then also the original that it's homaging in his additional gallery, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Right. See, it's got that border. But man, I mean, in person, just the level of contrast, and like I said in my head, 4 different pieces of art in one. The way I'm thinking about it,
Mhm.
yeah, I was just pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, no, I love Miko's work, and he's actually going to be at Megacon, so I'm looking forward to actually meeting him in person.
Right. And Leonardi, I'll say Leonardi is one of the okay. He's one of the best to convey movement, feeling, storytelling. I don't know, man. He's just the more and more I look at his work, the more and more I'm impressed by it, and that might have been part of this, but it's mostly. I mean, look at all the rendering on the figure. Jeez.
No, this is great. It's beautiful. No, very good pick. And Paul P's collection. If you have anybody who's spent any time in Paul's collection knows it's pretty amazing.
That's
He's
right.
always adding great artwork.
No doubt.
All
Is this
right.
my last one?
This is your last one.
Oh man, this is Claudio Castellini, who's just a beast. And I'll start off by saying there's a one shot he did called Silver Surfer Dangerous Artifacts. If you're a comic reader, go read it and just go. It's not even reading it; it's like looking at it because it's a master class in an artist pouring everything he's got into one book. Trad Moore did the Silver Surfer Black deal recently that is great and it's game changing in terms of its look and all that. And I felt like this one shot was similar in that way. So Claudio, he channels the great John Buscema. Even in like the beginning of the book, he says this is dedicated to him. And you can look at the bottom panel. You can see it in the eyes. You can see the John Buscema look in the Silver Surfer, the way his face and his eyes is.
Sure.
But the top panel here, he has this character that he's teaming up with, the Silver Surfer, basically slamming this ship into the villain, the large villain they're fighting, and the Silver Surfer catches her. So you can see the movement down the panels. So I think it's a great piece in and of itself. And they were oversized. They were done on really big, large boards. And there are a few more pieces on CAF, and I would encourage everybody to look at them because they're gorgeous. When I think of the Silver Surfer, I think of a handful of names, and this guy is one of them just because of this particular book. And I'm just super impressed by everything, the illustration, the storytelling, the detail, the nods he has to John Buscema throughout. So yeah, I just love it. And look at the name of the owner of this.
Claudio 3737.
His name is Claudio.
Yep.
He has the same name as the artist, which is a trip. But
and from Italy too.
And from Italy too. Yeah.
Well,
so that's it. That's it. Kind of try to be a little varied. Stuff I haven't looked at before, and it was fun. It was fun, Bill. I always enjoy these. I'm glad to be back on with you tonight, man.
Well, it's a pleasure having you on, and I know you'll do it again. So why don't we go through my picks? I'll try to go fast. We just hit the 2-hour mark.
Right, let's go.
How does this happen? I don't know how we do this. I talk too much.
I do. I've been talking too much, but I wasn't on for the first hour and a half, so that wasn't just
right.
me.
That's why it's me. It's me. I remember when these shows it was hard for me to go longer than a half hour when we started doing them, but yeah, 2 hours is tough to get under them now. But let's see here. Let's get started. Mine are easy choices as usual. I don't take the same amount of care that my guests always do. But
you're doing it every week, bro.
Oh yeah. I do all right. I got some good picks in there. But first up, I'm gonna get the like on there. I hadn't done this. This is in Dino's collection, of course. Great Herb Trimpe. I love Herb Trimpe Hulk. I mean, you could look at it and just say It's just not the way we picture the Hulk today. But when Herb draws the Hulk, it's unmistakably done by Herb, and this is just great action. Love the image here. I mean, look at the detail on it. I love Trimpe's Hulk. I mean,
well, you know, Bill, you think about
beast.
like Herb Trimpe, you think about maybe even Jack Kirby, and then you go to like maybe a Byrne or Keown. They're two different Hulks in my head, right? One is more of a brutish monster that's got the Frankenstein thing, right?
Yeah.
And I appreciate both. Yeah.
Nope, I do too. And I love I don't know. I love the perspective on this one. I mean, the leader has always been I've always appreciated the leader as a villain. So this is just an awesome pickup. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Dino's collection just keeps getting better and better. This is a beauty.
And I mean, energy, right? Pow. Get the Hulk punching. And it's cool. I mean, you can't beat one of your favorite heroes versus like one of their arch nemesis in a mano image on the cover, right?
Right. Like Dino says, Hulk smashing. Exactly. I love that. But yeah, congratulations, Dino. Another great addition at 35-cent cover.
And only 35 cents still.
Yeah. I always love that price point on Marvel when it's still only 35. That was such a great.
So Bill, for me, it was 75 cents. Then it became $1. From 1 week to the next, I go to the comic shop as a kid and became $1. And I was like, what is this?
Right. Yeah, no, they were still 25 cents when I was buying them. So, but 35 cents was just a fond memory. Mid 80s. All right, what else we got here? Here's this one. Let's see what we got. This is the 87 West Coast Avengers page. Now, I'll tell you, I mean, the art, it's a cool page. As soon as I saw the cactus villain, I had to pick this page. And I just needed some levity in my day. And, it's a nice page overall, irrespective of the cactus guy. But West Coast Avengers as a read was always kind of hit or miss for me. But it was always kind of, offbeat. Their stories were a little different. And so I kind of got into it a bit. But I don't even remember this one. But I saw that villain, and I was just like, you know what? No matter how much what I think of this page, I wanted to
look at his face in the bottom right. Yeah, look at his face there. And Bill, I was so happy you picked this, man, because for me, Al Milgrom, it's Spectacular Spider-Man and West Coast Avengers. Those are the two books when I think of his name. And a lot of it was the early stuff. And I'm a Southwest boy, right? So these are Southwest baddies literally made for this. So you've got the Cactus Man, the Iguana guy, the sand person, the sun guy. Like, it was just made to be like a desert villain crew.
Sure.
And with these books, it was always fun to see this team go against this random hodgepodge of new villains and how they'd match up. And you already get a sense of that on the bottom panels, right? Of who's matching up to who. And this book made me like Tigra. I'm like, I like her.
Yeah, I love Milgram's art. I mean, I think I don't know, when I think of Marvel in the mid 80s, I think of Milgrom. I mean, he was so prolific, and I always liked his style. Like you said, I mean, he draws a great tiger here. He draws a great cactus man or whatever he is, or the Gila monster. I mean, these are all real, they're really great images. And so
that's great. It's fun.
Yeah, I had to feature it. I mean, I saw this thing. I'm like, my gosh, you know what? It's not every day you see a page like this on CAF.
No, you don't. And this collector, Benedict Judas Hell, his focus is on B, C, D villains. Like, that's what he likes to collect.
He says,
so it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. He's
it's the first page of my collection from a comic, not a guide. I bought straight from the newsstand and still own. And I was like, well, cool. It's always great getting nice nostalgic pieces. So and Benedict, he a relatively new CAF member, only been on the site for a couple years, premium member. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is great. And somebody who doesn't always credit the letterers, but that's nice to see here too, getting writer and letterer as part of their art description. So fantastic.
And NSN art mentions that those are straight Arizona villains. Yes, Arizona, New Mexico. That's what's up, man. That's exactly it.
All right.
And Bill, so when I think of Iron Man, number one is Bright Layton's work when he's flipped to the silver Centurion armor. So this is
Okay.
that same time. So I got a stack of like 12 books from my older brother that were beat up as, you know what, from 200 through like 220. There's like 12 to 13 books, and I poured over them, man. So I'm a big sucker for that era of Iron Man.
I think James Siegel just popped in. He said, late tonight, and forgot you were on. Can you go back into your picks again?
I'm open
If you want to
from
be here for another hour.
11:30 to 12:10 tomorrow. We'll go over them, man.
There you go. All right. Well, so yeah, you see, I had to pick that page, and then I had to pick this one too. Of course, this is in Sean Clancy's pickup. I mean, even Ruben made mention of it last week when it was added to CAF. But what just an amazing Teen Titans cover. I mean, just classic image. And I mean, I don't know where Sean found this one, but boy, he added a beauty to his great collection. He even makes note, this isn't even enough. He said he's still looking for more Perez Titans. So even though he's got this piece, so anybody that just wants to like shake the tree and give Sean some more opportunities to buy Perez Titans, he's in the market. But he ended up picking up this amazing this piece. And again, I remember so much emotion in it, and that's the Titans were all, to me, that's I like the Titans because they were kind of like, I don't want to say they were the X-Men of the DC world, but as far as like a team book, they were young. They were inexperienced. They were headstrong. They made similar mistakes as a team that early X-Men teams would do. So that's why, in part, I think I liked it. Other than the fact that Perez was drawing it, but yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you just said it's an amazing piece. Go back up, and look on the left.
I know, I saw that too. I didn't even see that. Yeah, who knows why that's written there, right? But because I didn't even notice it when I first picked the piece, and then when I was setting up the tabs here so I could go through this easy, I saw that, and I'm like, I wonder why that's there. But yeah, exactly. Great piece, and it's cool because this is something I've never seen this artwork on the market before. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been around long enough. You'd think I would have seen it, but however Sean got it, congrats to him for adding this piece to his CAF gallery, because he's already got a great CAF as well. So check this piece out and spend some time in Sean's CAF afterwards, because it's definitely worth it. Chris says the owner wrote that on it. Anything is possible.
Let me write this like it looks like I didn't write it on here, right? Yeah.
But all right, I got my like on that one. Inks by Romeo, even better. So all right, so next up, this was a weird, the way the image was presented is a little bit weird, but this is let's see, I want to make sure I get it right. Alessandro Gentili's CAF gallery, another Italian collector, was showing the piece with where it was also, this isn't something you see too often, but it does happen quite frequently. Well, I say it doesn't happen often, but it happens quite frequently. All right, when you get a panel from an interior page that ends up being used in marketing purposes, right? But here you have one.
Yes.
It's rare, but I've seen it before. I know that we've sold a few pieces on the Dueling Dealers that were like this, where the interior panel page was used as either as a cover or a trade paperback, something or other. But this is just a great image from Daredevil Yellow. Of course, Tim Sale. Let me see if I think he's got a separate picture here. Yeah, there you go. This is just with the art.
It's got Electro too.
Perspective on this one, beautiful. You can't. I mean, I love Tim Sale's work. This piece is just amazing.
Sold. Tim Sale. So the bottom left, I was wondering if whether or not the white, like Electro's energy, his electric trail, is that like white ink, or is that the board?
I was assuming it was the board.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
It's hard to tell because again, this is a photo, but yeah, when I looked at it, I thought the same thing. But again, it's so well done. I mean, I love the fact that it's
awesome. So Bill, I played a little game. I was like, so here's two pieces that I might pick, but I'm sure Bill will pick them. So that was one of the two.
Am I that predictable now?
Well, that was one of the two. So the other didn't work. So 50-50.
All right. Good night, Mikhail. Thanks for tuning in as always. Oh, Larry says he thinks it's white paint. So I mean, I haven't seen the original. It's so hard to tell on a photograph, but Yeah, Daredevil Yellow was a great book, and
Bill, you have to go back and look through the comments because I think Marcus may be up to like 24 comments about Cyclops being less
even a blind
than.
man has better style than Cyclops. Yep, Cyclops is getting no love tonight. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Great
I
piece,
don't
man.
care.
Great
It's all
piece.
right.
I was thinking about picking it.
All right, well, I put my like on that one. Now I'm switching a little bit here. Kurt Swan, George Klein, Legion of Superheroes page. I mean, again, I'm not a DC guy, but I love Kurt Swan's art. And yeah, this page, when I looked at it, it's just so as a fully rendered image. Just looking at all the panels together, I just knew I wanted to feature this piece because he's filled in. And I've talked about this before. Lots of artists could take shortcuts and not draw. If that's whatever that room she's in, just kind of take shortcuts with those sorts of things. Yet he's gone in and just filled in everything, even when he doesn't need to, where the glass breaking, he's put in so much extra, line work that the ink has followed and done. I just love this page, the way it's rendered. I love the lettering on it. Just as a complete work of art. When I saw this page, I don't care what book it was from. I was going to feature it.
That's great. And it's funny because when I saw it, and this is not in my wheelhouse at all. Never seen it, don't know it, never read the comics, but it made me think about. We had another collector friend we chat with once in here, Hal. Kurt Swan, known for Superman.
Yeah.
And I never collected Superman books, but I did have some of the smaller digest books, and it reminded me of some of that storytelling in there. Right, I just felt kind of classic, cartoony, animated look. And if you read through this, they're like stuck in a diamond, and it literally says the Karate Kid is about to die, and he finds the weak point like a martial artist does to get out of the bind. It was pretty cool, man. Like you said, went to town everywhere.
Yep, he did. And I didn't read the whole page. I should have. I feel bad now. You read it.
I read it. I read it when I knew it was coming up, so I took a look.
Good. And then I had a piece by Kniff earlier that I botched on the slide presentation from the auction houses, but I really like this piece as well. It's a Sunday. What more can you say about Kniff? I mean, it's just I love his style. I'd love to own an early Kniff piece, and again, it's just beautiful. I mean, as far as an illustrator goes, he's one of my all-time favorites. So
that's right, man.
And we don't feature enough strip art, I don't think, when we pick stuff. So I was like, all right, this will be an easy one for me to pick out for everybody.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I get to learn. That's the other thing I like about being on CAF, being part of this, is learning a little bit about new artists, and it applies to newer and it applies to older too, right? So in terms of what people like about things, and does that resonate with me or not?
Mm-hmm.
What's interesting about Milton Caniff is I don't know his work, don't know Terry and the Pirates at all, but I do know that this was John Romita Sr.'s gateway drug into this hobby as a younger man. So when he thinks about his inspiration and all that, this is it. It's Terry and the Pirates by Milton Caniff. And he even said in an interview I saw once where, and I don't know the young lady's name, but a character passed away in this story. Mm-hmm. And he said he remembers seeing two men like feeling distraught, like at a store about this character passing away. And this is when he was, they were considering him and Jerry Conway having Gwen Stacy pass away in Amazing Spider-Man. And it mattered. He was so surprised that it mattered to like men that a character in a comic strip would pass away. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to whatever. I just don't know anything about this art, but I do know that just one of the best artists and gentlemen ever thought this was it for him.
No, trust me, I don't know a lot about Kniff as the man. I just love his art. So yeah, this is and you know what? I don't think I've really ever been in Matt's CAF gallery too often, which is kind of sad. So somebody else mentioned that Matt's got a lot of great art in his CAF collection. So I'm going to have to go ahead and leave this tab open so I can check it out later. But hey, anybody that likes Kniff is okay in my book.
Yeah, man.
All right. So a little again, Larry. Larry put so much great artwork up on CAF this week.
He's nonchalant about it too, right? Just
I
like,
know,
here it is.
but the thing is, I had a hard time figuring out what piece to pick, because I was like, all right, there's so much good artwork that he posted. I've got to pick one piece from Larry's collection. I thought, well, maybe it should be the Burn, right? Galactus image, or and I forget what the other one was at the moment, but I saw this one. I was like, this is just a little bit different. I've never really featured too many pieces, I think, by Philip Tan in the past. I mean, I tend to overlook them, I guess, because there's a lot of Philip's work on the site, and so this is a Legion piece, and he just listed as an illustration, so I don't know if it's published or not. One at the C2E2 St. Jude's Charity in 2018. So wait a minute. So you've had this in your CAF, in your personal collection for 4 years, and you're just releasing it to us today.
And there's more coming, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's breaking into the portfolios to pull out RDS and Avon CAF. But I mean, look at this thing. This is just so, I really liked it because it's so evenly rendered, all the characters, and the way that they're done. When I was looking at the piece, I just thought it was fantastic, the way he's with the cross hatching, and you just see it, it almost looks like the page to be rather flat, but it's not. I mean, the characters all pop, but I just love the style of inking on this piece. So yeah, I mean, so this was my pick from Larry. I could have picked 2 or 3 other pieces from Larry this week, but this is mine. This is my one pick for him this week.
And it's so cool. It has Wolverine in the front. No, I'm just kidding. But so there's 2 things on this one, man, because I thought about it too. Is the composition, and then I like to call hatchy detail.
Yeah.
Tan is just a tick, 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 the cross, and the just nuts, and the way that he inks, it feels like layered. There's depth that there otherwise wouldn't be if he wasn't doing what he was doing. So yeah, man, that's one of those ones you'd like to see and pour over in person,
Right. I mean, you look at this section of the art. I mean, there's so many characters in there, and so much care was taken to on all of them. It's just amazing. I really like this image. So again, I don't have to be a DC fan to not love this image.
I'm sorry, we got some Marvel aficionados throwing some.
Oh, James says there's Rogue. Ay. But yeah, no, Larry's been hitting home runs on CAF of late, and this is another one of them. So congratulations for this purchase from 4+ years ago. All right, what else we got here? We've got is that
the master, man?
Oh, Simon's CAF gallery. Sorry. So let's see here. Leave my like on here. So Stuart Immonen, and this is just as far as the layout, I love this page as well. Again, it's back to I'm looking at the overall piece of art. I love the small panel at the top with the goblin, and you get that middle panel. Spidey is like so not important in it, but he's the central focus of the explosion. And then I love the last 2 panels. I love the pitched perspective in that second to last panel, where he's on the light pole, and then the hands coming at Spidey. I mean, it's just great storytelling. And it's so silky smooth. I mean, the inking on this thing, I want to own this art. I didn't read the book, so I actually can't say I know anything about the story, but I just love this whole piece. So,
and you're not a Spider-Man guy, to your detriment, but that's okay. I know. You do like, I mean,
I like my X-Men.
You do like your X-Men, but
like
Stuart, man, he did a run, all new X-Men in one of the X-Men launches. But Bill, like, if you were to ask me to go on CAF and type in like 3 names or whatever to give me an example of like great storytelling, Stuart Immonen would be one of them.
Yeah.
He's just, I like his covers. I feel like I said, I like his covers, but man, his panel to panel storytelling and it's particularly on the action scenes, they're just, I mean, he has a few peers in my view when it comes to that. This is a nice example here.
Yep. I was forced to pick this one, but I love it.
It's like, right. It's the setup.
Yeah.
The bang. It's like what they teach you in an essay, right? Set it up, pow, here, and then what happens afterward. So, you got Spider-Man surveying, and then he's about to get what he gets from the Goblin here.
Just like Steven just mentioned, you can tell stories without words. You're just making the writer's job easier when you do that.
Was it Paulo Rivera went to? Did he go to the Kubert school? He went to one of them, but he said in one of his classes, they put up a Kirby book, and they said here, and they took all the balloons out, and he said, "Here's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You should know everything that's going on without the words. The words are to get you into the story, but you don't need them to know what's going on."
So be a good storyteller first as an artist, and the book will write itself. There you go, RISD. Yeah, I didn't think Q
Oh,
was
RISD.
right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Chris.
Yes, thank you, Chris. I've talked with Paul enough. I should have known that, but yeah, he's a RISD guy. All right, so next up in Anker's CAF gallery, I couldn't pass this one up, and you know why? Because I love Lealoa's ink work, and I love his pencils too. But I just love, you look at this. So it's a Sal piece, but Steve's inks are pretty, kind of take over the piece. I see more of Steve in this piece than even Sal, but I have always loved his inking, and I've never owned a piece by him at all. And I look at that Black Widow, and it screams Lealoa, the way just his inking style and the hair and the eyes. So yeah, I just love this piece, and I felt like it was worthy of a pick.
Depth, right? Depth,
yeah,
energy, and to me, an example of the inker contribution. Right, so it's
right.
We always laugh. You know the movie Chasing Amy. At the beginning of Chasing Amy, they have this joke. It's like, oh, you're an inker, you trace.
You're a tracer,
right?
Yeah.
Inkwell Awards, you see the same image inked by 20 different guys, and you see how stark a difference it is between all of them.
Right.
So here's, Sal Buscema, he's changed his style over the years, in spots, but he's also been inked by how many people? And You can see it. And like you said, clearly, it's Steve's.
Oh yeah, it is. And
and
I can tell everybody, I actually have Lealoa as one of my want list keywords because I like his work that much, and you just don't see too much of it out there on the market. And whether it's pencils or him inking somebody else,
right.
But yeah, he's been on my short list for a long time just because of this nostalgic. I see an image by him, and I just feel like I gotta own something.
I'm gonna help you with this one, man.
Yeah, how are you gonna do that? You're gonna help me find one?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's honest to God, he's like in my list right now of people that I'm trying to get a piece from. I'd say he's in my top 5, or maybe even top 3. And I commit searches a couple times a week, just poking around, seeing if I can find something by him because yeah, I mean, it's that same period, it's that mid 80s, and I just think he's somebody that doesn't get talked about a lot because I mean, did he really work on anything super high profile? But I love his style. It's back to, I love my love. I can't explain my love for Bill Willingham and the way he penciled or inked. It's the same thing when I look at Lealoa's work. I feel the same way about it as I feel about Willingham. So, and it's just, you just don't see anything out there. So what's number 1? I don't know what number 1 would be right now, but Steve is very close to being number 1. I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. So, because again, it comes back to that scarcity, right? When you don't see pieces by somebody too often, you do start feeling desperate. And in this market, you even feel more desperate because you just start wondering,
Sure.
Will you ever get to see a piece that you can afford out there? And for me, it's just wondering when I'm going to even see something that I can pick up because there's just nothing out there. All right,
we're going to get there, Mr. Cox.
Well, Anker's got this one. Congratulations, Anker. And I think I picked 11 tonight, so I apologize. It's another reason to keep us here 3 more minutes. But here is this is Mike Zeck, Batman: Legends of the Dark Knight, Canada Jones CAF gallery. Canada's got an amazing collection of art. I love Zeck. I mean, I love the detail in this piece, all the backgrounds. I love that third panel, the lighting on the guards on the wall. It's just a really beautifully laid out page as far as the way the panels are constructed, but also just, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of detail that went into the backgrounds here. I don't really, I mean, is it, first I looked at it, it almost looks like when the old timers would actually tick out with a knife, but obviously not. So I'm just really curious. I'd love to see this piece in person to just see how all that detail was actually rendered, because it's just, if it was all drawn that way without any shortcuts, wow, yeah, that makes this a really, really beautiful piece.
That's nice.
So
that's
so
great,
again, man. DC, everybody, I picked another DC piece. Look at that.
You did pick Zach. I mean, if somebody asked me what was the top artist of yours or top 3, Mike Zach would be up there. That's me. I feel like, I don't know, he's in my head, he's like the bridge to like what was and what's going to be. Like he channeled the guys before him, but he was showing what was going to be coming later at the same time, in terms of his illustration and his storytelling. You see the lighting up at the top right.
Oh yeah, that top right panel is just so, it's a crazy good.
I don't know, man. It was just his books like bring me in. They pull me into the story, more than many other artists.
I agree. And okay, so it's listed as Mike Zach all. So yeah, it fits his inking too. That's great.
You're right. Canada, he has a great collection, very curated, great collection. Yeah.
Yep. I was just going to reiterate that. Definitely check out Canada Jones CAF Gallery. All right. So what we got? One more piece here, and I did another strip art, and not that strip art, Marcus. Sorry. Al McWilliams, who I'm not really very familiar with, but if Jeff Singh is collecting a artist, they're something special. And I saw this piece, and you could think of a lot of different creators out there, but I mean, this is just a really, really beautiful piece, and it made me do a little bit of research on CAF, at least to see if there's other works out there by them, and surprisingly there were like 200 pieces on CAF, and some of it even more into the 60s and 70s, where he was inking other pencilers we know. So it was, but I just thought it was a cool piece, and I always really appreciate anything that Jeff adds to CAF, because it's usually something unique. If I'm familiar with the artist, it's from a period that I'm not familiar with for that artist. And so for that, I really always enjoy anything that Jeff adds and shares on CAF, because he's got a really unique collection, and the pieces he tends, that he posts are usually, high caliber, top notch, top shelf type pieces that we'd all love to have in our CAF gallery. Oh, and even Ruben mentions, it's a single panel daily, and that's really true. They are very, very, very rare, and so something like that, I mean, but it's an amazing piece. So congrats to Jeff on that pickup.
Great. Well, and it's interesting, right, because it has this big scene at the left, but it has like a close-up profile shot at the same time on the right. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know if that's common with strip art, but I think that's pretty cool that you got 2 types of pieces in my head. I don't know if that's right. In my head for strip art in this one particular image. It's a lovely face too. Lovely face on the young lady there.
Right, and like Mel mentioned, kind of an Alex Raymond, Al Williamson vibe, sure. And Chris says he thinks he was an assistant to Al at one point, or did fill-ins on X9. That's I guess I could see that too. And Chris said that he pops on Heritage. So apparently I'm not paying enough attention, but yeah, great piece. And again, you don't feature enough strip art. So I was when I did the auction portion of the report, and I saw the Kniff piece, that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to pick a few other things in here that are strip art related.
Man.
So
hey, we both went out a little bit. And you know what's funny? Go back to Arizona. Look in the back on the left here. It kind of looks like the Red Mesas of Northern Arizona to me. A little bit.
Yeah. I can't argue with you on that. It does. All right. Well, then there you go. We made it. We made it to 21 picks again. I think this is the second week in a row where I've done 11 picks. Khalil, another fine night of picking artwork.
Well, I hope we had fun. So Bill, I know you have a great time doing these, and I know you've been really busy. I think you mentioned earlier in the show that you're not scheduling too much out because you've got a lot going on. So I know there's a lot, man. I know there's a wait at times, but I hope we all can help alleviate some of that. Just have a good time talking this goofy, geeky stuff. We all dig to our core, man.
Right. No, and trust me, everybody's been helping out a lot. I mean, Larry volunteering to do a couple shows in the 2 weeks leading up to Comic Art Live. That's a big help because I really was probably just going to skip them and not do anything. So it's nice to be able to keep things consistent. And remember, I'm doing that move as well on the first weekend in May. We're doing a first drive down with a U-Haul and stuff. So I've just got so many things on my plate. And but I want to keep things as consistent as possible with the shows and making sure Comic Art Live, is a success again with the 5th one. And so when I start thinking about June and I'm trying to, and I have, like I said, I've got this list of at least 12 people who want to be on the show. I've been I just don't even want to think about it just yet, until I feel like I'm at least a week or two down the road. But remember, I think a year ago I was at this point too. Remember, I took that vacation in June and I needed it because these Comic Art Live shows are a lot of work, and but I do. I feel once we get through May, things will be a lot easier for me. So
verily.
Yes, verily.
Yes,
but listen, man, thank you so much for this. I can't wait. I got to figure out how to actually make the holder work. But
break it in.
I've got beer tonight.
Chris has got some options for you. Exactly. And I'm a big IPA guy too. I can't do that as too much these days. It's a little strong, a little heavier. I gotta kind of pick and choose, but yeah,
sure,
you'll get there.
And we can answer this question for Michael Callahan. I was emailing with Michael the last couple of days. But Michael, why are the corners clipped on a lot of artwork? Well, at that point in time, the printers would, they basically were taping the boards down onto however they were doing the printing, and to get the boards off of the print device, they just took a knife and would cut them. Sometimes it was the corner, sometimes it was actually into the top or bottom portion of the art. Sometimes you'll see those angles be really acute going in, but it was however that the guy at the print shop was just being quick to cut those pieces off rather than being careful and taking how they had it taped down to everything. So that's that period. I mean, I think it's mostly like early 80s to mid 80s. You see a lot of that, but only during then. So whatever the process was during the printing, that's how that happened and why it's there. So, right? Did I get it right?
You did.
Fairly right.
We teach,
all right,
we learn, we educate. So. Yeah, man, it's part of the reason we're here. So that's great.
Who knows why they didn't take a little bit more care?
And I scan my art, right? I have a scanner here, and it's black where those are, and I love to leave them because you can see, it's just kind of cool to see, right? This is part of the process.
Exactly. And again, so Michael didn't know that. It's not something that's written down. We know it because we've talked with other collectors who got the skinny whenever back in the day. And so, no, I mean, these are things that they're good questions. I mean, you don't think to always. Right.
And Michael, it absolutely does not affect value. It's just part of comic art. So, if it's there, great. If it's not, it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't affect the value at all. I mean, at the end of the day, these are all, the one of a kinds, right? So if it's got a tear in it, if it's got a coffee stain on it, is it really going to make somebody pay less for it? I mean, no, not at all. It's not really going to affect it. I mean, there are certain things that could affect the value on a piece. I mean, certainly, you look at stuff, if a piece of art got folded accidentally, you might look at it and say, nah, I can get another one that doesn't have a crease in it or something like that. But those sorts of things that through no fault of the creator or any of the people who've been fortunate enough to own that artwork after it was first bought, that thing was put in there as part of the whole printing process. So no one's ever going to look at that and say that piece of art's worth less than one that didn't have those corners cut on it.
What's funny, Bill, is like I feel like I try to take care of my art. I keep it nice and whatever, but it makes me laugh because how many of these pieces were just kind of tossed around or just, before they arrived to me. It's just funny. And it's also kind of cool, right? Because, comics, of course you want to keep your art nice, particularly the art area, but comics, right? There's the grading and I personally like that doesn't exist that way.
Right.
When it comes to the art. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I know because Comic Connect, when they show the art, they actually put a grade on it. I think in some weird way their system requires them, because I think however they programmed it, they have to. But it always throws me for a loop when I look at it, when I look at a Comic Connect auction, because it'll say the page is a 7.0 or something. And again, I think it's just something inherent in the way they programmed it. They have to put something in there so they actually try to say it's this clean or it's not this clean or whatever. It doesn't have any rolled corners or something like that, some kind of damage that you might see as an imperfection. But that's the great thing about the art, right? I mean, you got to take it for what it is, and if it has an imperfection you don't like, you can walk away from it. But yeah, the corners aren't a deal at all. But folds, those things, that's the kind of stuff that turns me off. If something was bent over in some way, and you know that you probably can't fix it properly, that's the kind of stuff that would detract from it. And
I agree. If the board breaks, that, like, you know, there's a crease. You know what I mean? That's because there's the aesthetic appeal. Like, that's when you look at something, you don't want to look at that. So yeah.
So yep. So we're about ready to call it a night, Mr. Redjack. Good thing to reminder on there that Nick's got his show tomorrow at 7 to 8, and you know, don't miss out. He's got a giveaway. He's got great art for sale, and
post. Start putting up your booths. Right.
And start putting up create your booth. Even if you don't start posting art immediately, at least go in and turn it on, because basically we reset everything, and so you haven't claimed it. We just like to see people claim their booths, and the earlier you do that, the better. Don't wait until 2 days before the show, and then you have questions that I can't help you with. If you're new to setting up an exhibitor booth, get in there, do it now, and if you have a question, ask me. And I've sent out, I've got mailings going out to all of my advertising clients tomorrow. A lot of reps, so I'm going to expect that probably in the next week I'll see a lot of people creating their booths, because the sooner I can turn on the preview of who's exhibiting, the better. And I tend to like to wait until I have a decent amount of people who's already committed to being at the show. So like right now, if you go to the Comic Art Live pages on the outside site, you can't see who the exhibitors are yet. But hopefully within a week, 10 days, I'll be able to turn that on, and then that'll be a good preview. You can't see the art, but at least you know which of your collector friends are out there who are setting up, and if any dealers are as well. So, all right. Well, I guess we can call it a night, Khalil. We can say it together. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and again, for all the gifts. Chris, the beer is great. Mikhail, I'll if I cut myself, I'm covered here. I've got the Band-Aids on hand. I sincerely.
Yeah, breakfast. There was oatmeal in there, right?
No, there might have been oatmeal in it at one point, but no. Yeah. But yeah, what can I say, everybody? It's been a great week for me, birthday wise. I appreciate everything that everybody's said to me, and it's been fun. And again, I can't thank everybody enough for going along this ride with me. So I've got the next 3 days off. Got a lot of work to get done, but again, I hope everybody looks forward to the Monday show between McSpidey Fan and Dave Bixler as an amateur show. That's going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be a lot of great art. I don't think there's going to be cake, Marcus, during that show, but you never know. Maybe McSpidey Fan will make a Spiderman cake. That would be good. Maybe I can convince him to do that. But all right, man, Khalil, thank you so much again, and I know I'll have you on for doing 10 picks again sometime soon.
Absolutely, man. Love it. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy your weekends. Okay.
You got